This is the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, home to one of the most surprising expansion teams in the Arena Football League, the Memphis Pharaohs. The 1994 Arena Bowl, Orlando and Arizona. The Rattlers down one with just over 30 seconds to play. Cedric Bonner, the quarterback, rolls to his left and throws 24 yards to Calvin Schexnayder and a 36-31 Rattlers championship. Arena Bowl MVP Cedric Bonner is gone, but not much has changed at quarterback for the Rattlers, with rookie Aaron Garcia leading the league in passing and coming off a record-setting game against Las Vegas. Now the Arizona challenge. The Pharaohs are rising. The league's best defense in the Memphis Pharaohs and a cop gun at quarterback. And welcome now to the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, where tonight it's the defending Arena Football League champion, Arizona Rattlers, unbeaten at 3-0 against the Memphis Pharaohs. They are 2-1 this year. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Physiak. This is Rick Walker. The Arizona success story has really been a remarkable one in their first 3 years. They have moved up every single season in winning the championship last year. But their coach, Danny White, has a system that he believes in so much, Rick, that he says, with this system, if you give me a good quarterback, we'll win. He's got another good quarterback.
Well, sometimes it helps to be just a little lucky as well, Steve. Aaron Garcia has stepped in as a rookie, and it's the toughest position to master in arena football. He's done a fantastic job. He has a great feel for this game. He's able to hook up receivers. 13 touchdowns, just 1 interception. That's winning football. And boy, does he have some gifted guys to throw to. Calvin Schexnayder at 1, Vaughn at the other receiver, and Hunky Cooper, a couple years ago, league's most valuable player. The Hunkster might be the best overall offensive specialist in arena football. The numbers: 25 receptions. He leads the league. Close to 350 yards in reception. He's a dynamite package.
How about the Memphis story? Here is a football team that is very, very strong. Troy Kopp is the quarterback. If he makes no turnovers tonight, they will win. Lyle's a quality fullback, but Hughes and Russell are 2 receivers their head coach said you really got to watch. But how about John Bankhead on that offensive and defensive line?
Bankhead is a monster, and Davis is really their guy to go to. But Kopp is a quarterback who, like Aaron, has stepped in and been able to get a feel for this position at quarterback. He is poised. He had 4 interceptions in the game, but he wasn't frazzled. He came back and found the mark and led the Pharaohs to victory. I like this young man a lot. But John Bankhead is the guy you got to keep your eye on, folks. A year ago, he was with the Arizona Rattlers. Well, now he's here in Memphis, and he has a vendetta. He wants to go out and get victory for his new ball club. It's going to be no love lost in this football game and a lot of excitement because of number 75, John Bankhead.
Well, Memphis has won the toss, and they will receive the football. And that means back deep is number 88, Frizzell Davis, who is an exciting return artist out of Detroit, Michigan. Played his college football at Maine. And there is Luis Zendejas, perhaps the league's finest kicker in the history of the game. Luis will give you about a 60% success ratio on kicking field goals, and that is remarkable. I mean, anything above 40% in this game is rather strong, simply because the goalposts are only 9 feet across. Here is the run-up and the kick by Zendejas. It will not be a long one, as Davis takes it about 7 yards deep and brings it out past the 10 all the way to the 12-yard line, but a flag will go down. And that is one story that Memphis has displayed all year long. They have struggled making mistakes, averaging 12 penalties per game this year. Meantime, you've got a football team, the Arizona Rattlers, who rarely make penalties, only 11 in their 3 games. And Troy Kopp, we told you his success at the University of Pacific. The numbers that he does not like that you just saw is that he's at 51% and would like to be at 65. But he's just 23 years old and playing in just his 4th Arena Football League game. Broke all kinds of records at the University of Pacific, playing for Coach Walt Harris. So the penalty puts it back at the 6-yard line, and Frizzell Davis will go wide to the right side.
Come on, baby. Oh, yeah.
And Kopp comes back left and tries to find his wide receiver.
And you got a chance to see Richard Ash get his hands up. And one of the things that they wanted to get accomplished, and Gene Nudo, who is a new acquisition with the Rattlers, said, we want to get our hands up. We want to knock some balls down. That was a pretty good indication.
Well, there's the Rattlers defensively. Last week they gave up 69 points in a victory. Gave up 69 points, still won because they scored 72 against Las Vegas. And on the run, moving it off the right side, is Robert Lyles, who is a fullback linebacker in this game. And you might remember the name Robert Lyles because he started for 8 seasons with the Houston Oilers back in the mid-'80s.
Heck of a football player. I mean, one of those kamikazes playing the linebacker spot. And, you know, he only had 3 rushes for 2 yards prior to that carry. So they're kind of mixing things up, trying to keep that ferocious pass rush that the Arizona Rattlers at bay.
So now on 3rd down and 2 yards to go, Troy Kopp has some options. Will he run? Will he throw? He's got a slot left, and we see Kopp expecting a penalty, putting a knee down, and then sliding forward and coming up very close to a 1st down, all the way to the 16-yard line. But there was movement on both the offense and defensive lines.
And we noticed this a couple of weeks ago when we had the game, that he was really good with the voice inflections and trying to draw the defense off sides in the Milwaukee game, as we witnessed. And we'll see if he gets the benefit. Now, I'm sure Don Freese, his head coach, is kind of hoping for the very best to just keep this offense going, and so that he can get on the point, get some points on the board first.
Troy Kopp over on the right sideline. And that is his head coach, Don Freese, his first year in the Arena Football League after serving as Vanderbilt's offensive coordinator, so he's familiar with the area. Vanderbilt just down the road in Nashville.
He also knows how to move the football. He's got some great experience in the USFL, and he's spent some time with Miles Davis like he's done. He's shown so far in Arena Football he can get the job done. Look at the expansion clubs that got off to a good start this year. I mean, that's really encouraging to see young clubs get in here and make things happen.
Yeah, the expansion success this year. First-year teams are 9-6. The rest of the Arena Football League is only 9-12. Those are the veteran teams. It'll be 4th down and inches. So they have elected to go for the field goal, and this will be of 49 yards out. And the kick is long enough, and it is wide to the left side. It will be taken by Hunky Cooper. And Cooper is spinning around past the 5 out near the 10-yard line.
Robert Lyle on the stop. You mentioned Robert Lyle. You hear his name a lot today, folks, on the special teams. 2-way players in Arena Football. You've got to get the job done. That's why they call it Iron Man football.
We'll come right back. A scoreless ball game in Memphis.
You got needs, okay? And somewhere between food and a 40-foot TV are tires. We'll jump up and down because Firestone's having a sale. And they got tires. Hello. They got the fast, the furious, the I won't be ignored tire. Think they got high prices? Think again. Enough thinking. They got the clock ticking on this commercial and this sale. It's the big tire sale at Firestone. So gentlemen, start your engines.
See Sunday's ad for Firehawk Performance and light truck tires on sale at Firestone retailers.
Tonight's Arena Football League game is brought to you by Firestone, America's tire since 1900. Aaron Garcia is the Arizona quarterback. Their defense already put a stop to Memphis, who took a chance by not going for it on 4th and very short. And this is a football team. The only time they were stopped any possession from scoring was because they turned the football over. The Pharaohs defense is the very best in the Arena Football League. Fraley, Houghton, Bankhead are where it starts. Lyles and Russell will be the linebackers, but Pitts, Hadley, and Hughes are the stars of that defense. The secondary is excellent. They will play a lot of man defense. Garcia is very quick of foot. He's going deep. He had a man wide open, and Herb Duncan had it go through his arms, incomplete. Herb Duncan's the speedster. He runs a 4.38 He is out of San Diego, went to Northern Arizona, and made this football team. Just became active today. He had suffered injuries, and there is Danny White. Went to Arizona State. He's also the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, now in his 4th year. He's won 62% of his games, but again last year took this team all the way to the championship game where they beat heavily favored Orlando by 5. And this time throwing to the right side. They try to hit Richard Ash, and it is incomplete. It will be 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
On that first play, he was able to get out, move around a little bit, get the ball downfield. That's the one thing that Danny White likes about Chief.
Well, he's going to come up with a big play here on 3rd and 10. Again, this is an offense that scored 72 points last week. Duncan has the catch, but was he far enough for the first down? And that is a play where you have to know where the marker is. He really had to get past the 20-yard line to give his club a chance. It will be short of a first down at the 16-17-yard line. Herb Duncan is one of their offensive specialists. Hunky Cooper is the main guy, number 14. And then you have Calvin Schexnayder and Milton Vaughn and Henry Milton, and they've got some quality receivers.
You talked about Duncan.
Right trips, X loop, laser 10 on 1-on-1. Ready?
Speedy Duncan is his dad, who is a defensive back for the San Diego Chargers. Yeah, he had some interceptions that beat Kansas City many times. Here goes Garcia. Looking left, coming back to Schexnayder, and Calvin has the first down. Now here's a situation, Doc. They had 4th and about 6 inches. Don't go for it. And Danny White is going for it on 4th down and 3. That's confidence.
Well, I think you also have to be real aggressive on the road, take some chances. He ran a nice little misdirection, allowed Schexnayder to get on the opposite side of the field. You have confidence that your quarterback can hook up with a receiver. Clutch situation.
So it's first down at the 22-yard line. A slot left. Hunky Cooper will roll from the left to the right side, and Aaron Garcia will run that football. And slamming through is Big Bob McMillan, who goes 6'2", 254 pounds, out of Illinois Benedictine College.
We know from a year ago, Steve, that the Rattlers will run the football. Danny found that out, and as he made his transition to understand being a football, and he says, man, we got to keep him honest. And McMillan is a good one.
Yeah, Tracy Mao with the injury, and he was the guy who had to replace Thor, Craig Barr, last year. But they believe that Bob McMillan and Dan Lucas are 2 excellent fullbacks. Lucas was a terrific linebacker at Arizona State last year.
They got to be good. He replaced the mighty Thor, and they have Mr. Beats, and that's saying a lot for these guys.
3 wins, no losses, but with the clock winding down to 2 and then 1, Aaron Garcia says we'll take timeout, and they do. With 9 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, we have no score. Danny White. He has one of
the... Star Ride Transportation in Racine offers low fares for seniors and free rides for Title 19. Our drivers are dependable, experienced, and professional. Star Ride Transportation. Call us today for a ride tomorrow at 632-7433.
Alpha 111, cleared for takeoff.
Join the Air Force and see the world's most exotic terminals. For today's hottest computer careers, aim high, Air Force.
This is your advertising message. This is your ad in a newspaper.
You can get this great-looking burger for $1.99.
This is your ad on cable television. Cable advertising gives you the excitement of motion, color, music, sound, and pictures. Plus, you can be on many popular national networks like CNN, ESPN, and USA. And for less than $15 an ad. Amazing. Get the picture. Get in motion. Get cable advertising information today. Call 632-9900.
No score with Arizona and Memphis. 9 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And Aaron Garcia, who set a Rattler record throwing for 389 yards against Las Vegas last week, faces a 2nd down and 6 situation. He's going right end zone, and it will be incomplete. But there's a flag down as he tried to hit Calvin Schexnayder, who Danny White said is getting better and better. And he said, I don't even think this kid knows how good he can be.
Well, that's one thing everybody says about Calvin. One of those guys with unlimited potential. After against the Pharaohs, you better believe that Dale White's upset about that. Their coordinator, he's done a great job with this defense.
25, Memphis, 8 yards, automatic first down.
Well, that is their second penalty, and they had a game earlier this year where they had 16 penalties in one game, and I asked Don Freese, their head coach, about that last night, and he said sometimes I'd rather have a penalty than give up a big play. Well, right now this is a third down that's created an 8-yard penalty. Has given them a first down, and with an offense like the Rattlers, you can't afford to make too many mistakes in a football game.
It's so difficult to score in the red area, to score touchdowns, that maybe that philosophy is intact. I mean, his record speaks for it.
Hunky Cooper with the catch at the 7-yard line. It will be second down. Hunky Cooper has more yards receiving this year than any receiver in the Arena Football League, with 330. He's 26 years old, played quarterback at UNLV, and he said, yeah, I still have that quarterback mentality. And his coach, Danny White, said he is the true leader on the team.
Oh, yeah. And the thing about it, 4 touchdowns for 25 catches, that's down for Hunky.
Second down. 8 yards to go. They'll run the football to Cooper, and he slams the 6-yard line, but it'll be third down. They can still get a first down by getting inside the 1. But this is what Doc calls the red zone, anything inside the 10-yard line, and this is where all of a sudden you are helped out by those short end zones.
We talked about the youngster and what he brings to this club. I mean, it's an average of 15 yards per catch, and not to mention as a return specialist as well. I mean, his numbers are staggering, and the impact he has on this club is, and you know, think about it, like he's appreciated. Danny White knows he's our guy.
Well, he has Hunky in the backfield now, and they'll split up the fullback Bob McMillan. They'll run Cooper, and Cooper will not get it. He's to the 5-yard line and stop there. And a flag goes down.
Boy, Darius had played that extremely well. He forced the issue on that, and that's what you need out of a defensive specialist in this league, a guy that can really take charge. But if it's against the Pharaohs on this, Steve, I got to go. Maybe, yep, it is.
Yeah, unbelievable. That is 3 penalties already in this game, and 2 of them have given Arizona a first down. Look at that, 34 penalties.
First down.
This season, Arizona only 11. That's barely 4 per game, and this is a game with so many unique rules that
right.
lends itself to penalties.
Well, you got to be inside the box. You can't rush outside on kicks, and there's certain things that go contrary to the outside game. Maybe they're the outside version of the Raiders.
Well, it is a first down from the 3-yard line. Now McMillan will be the fullback, and they've got 3 receivers to the right side, and they'll run McMillan, and Millen just drives his way in and gets in for the touchdown.
I don't know, Steve. I think he's a little short.
Well, the referee right on the goal line in the middle of the field ruled touchdown, but the one on the side did say he went out of bounds, so they will mark it right at the 1-yard line.
Think about goal line stances. The Rattlers had one a couple of weeks ago, and invariably, if you're going to be good in arena football, you have got to be dominant on goal line stance.
Second down for Aaron Garcia and the Rattlers. McMillan. They will check it. He's in. Touchdown.
This crowd's not going to like that. Talking about the football was on the ground. That's why you need a big, strong fullback. Get a guy who has a nose for the end zone. Watch, Steve. We start talking about the line of scrimmage. Watch the offensive line. I see that's great explosion by Kevin Thomas, 55 to center. I mean, he really got pads under. The thing defensively you want to do is get your pads down. That time it didn't happen for the Pharaohs.
So now Zendejas comes on for the point after touchdown. Snap perfect. Kick is perfect as well. And Arizona has taken a 7-0 lead on the Memphis Pharaohs with 5 minutes and 16 seconds to play here in the first quarter.
Everybody thinks bigger is better, even at Burger King. They just did this taste test where the Whopper beat the Big Mac and Wendy's single. So why didn't they test the Whopper Jr.? It's that bigger thing again. Come on! on, appetites come in all sizes. The Whopper Junior tastes the same as the Whopper. It's just as flame broiled. It's just as juicy. It's just Junior. One size fits all may work for tube socks, but not for burgers.
The Whopper Junior Value Meal for $1.99 at Burger King.
I'd have to say Larry is my best friend. The guy is a maniac for sports. He loves to play football. That's his sport, and he's the boss. And he'll never, ever leave a game early.
What is this, the Arctic Bowl?
He's rolling out the tarp with him.
Larry!
But all my life, Larry's always done me big favors.
Mike, Diane, Mike.
Hi.
Very big favors.
Yes. Cheers, buddy.
When you're with a friend as good as Larry, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
Arizona with a 7-0 lead on the Memphis Pharaohs. Here, 5:16 remaining in the first period. And Sunday night baseball has Oakland and Baltimore as Cal Ripken continues his run on Lou Gehrig. That's 7:56 Eastern, 4:56 on the West Coast. Sunday night baseball on ESPN. There's Big Bob McMillan, who just scored that last touchdown as Arizona took nearly 7 minutes off the clock. And again, a floater by Luis Zendejas, and that football will go out of bounds, so a flag goes down, and that means they'll start their offense from a much better field position. You see Buddy Ward, the referee tonight.
You really hurt yourself when you don't get the ball up in the nets in this league.
Out of bounds against Arizona. Ball will be put in play.
Our officials tonight, Buddy Ward is the man you'll be listening to most of this evening. Perry Pagnelli, the back judge. So after the penalty, Memphis will start their offense from their own 20-yard line. Troy Kopp comes out at quarterback. Red Cooper was the man in motion, and they're going deep for Davis, and Davis, the ball is incomplete. He was just a little bit wide. Not enough room to that left sideline for Davis to get open.
Well, it's the toughest throw in arena football, the deep one, because you have those dasher boards you see with all the sponsors on the side, and it's tough. You're out of bounds. It's less than, half a yard, and as you watch Troy go back, he shows it the whole way. He wants to go up, a little wrinkle down, out, and up. I mean, he's got him. He is open. Davis did his job, just needs the football.
Beat Nathan LeDuc badly, number 29. So now second down, 10 yards to go from their own 20, and Cobb back to the air. He's throwing for Cooper. He's got him first down near the 10-yard line. Well, the coach, Don Freese, said we'd see more of Cooper and more of Hughes, their two game breakers in tonight's game.
Well, I like Cooper, man. Cooper's shown that he can get himself open. You watch him in the motion. Some folks call this the fake yo-yo. I like the run and start. See, as a defensive back, man, you are put on the island. He makes a nice move, comes out of his break. Ball is right on the numbers.
And he beat Arizona's best defensive back, Larry Jones. And now they'll run to that left side, and getting it near the 5-yard line is Joey Burgess, the slot back. Burgess played his college football at Miami and then over to Central State in Ohio. He also worked in a South Florida State prison in Miami, so he is quite a story. There's Henry Milton, who knocked him out of bounds, and Don Freese will talk with his quarterback Troy Kopp again.
Milton's a tough one. Thomas McLeish, though, with the key block, the fullback, that made it happen. Not staggering, but see, Troy just kind of keeps you in it. He just keeps you in the game.
Look at this bootleg, and it is read beautifully by the defense, and right on top of him, Richard Ash, number 96, who's a 27-year-old defensive end from Humboldt State.
Another good call, man. At this point, Don Freese, rather, a head coach, trying to figure out, what they're thinking about on the defensive side. Arizona gets after you. They float to the football. It's a good call.
So they actually lose about a half yard. It'll be third down and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Cobb looking, dumping it off, has his man Burgess. Is he in? Yes, touchdown.
Well, here's a young man who was just a great athlete coming out of high school.
And I tell you, you know, certain guys just have a knack for scoring. This time, a little isolation. Again, watch the motion. The motion works him open. Good read by Kopp. Good hands. And watch him stick it in. Little determination on that ground level. The offensive line, once again, keeping those hands down. See, Arizona can't get the hands up. Break on the ball is late, and that's determination.
And the point after touchdown is good by Brian Lee, so an excellent comeback after Arizona scored first. Memphis comes back to tie it at 7 with 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. The clock will continue to run when we come back as Burgess goes in from 5.
Talking some football tonight. The number for you to get involved on the program is 1-800-98-TALK-2. Yeah! Johnny, you're on Talk 2.
Homie, you're a wanted man here in Nebraska.
Johnny, let me tell you something. Good to have your smack right here on Talk 2.
Enough is enough.
Even that can't help you this time, Scrubby. The horror. My God. What a tank. Talk 2. If you're a scrub, don't bother.
Jim Rome on Talk 2. Live weeknights on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee, where Joey Burgess has just scored his 3rd touchdown of the year. His 2nd receiving. He has had a touchdown rushing the football. And Joey Burgess at a Central State in Ohio has tied this game up at 7 with 1 minute 45 remaining in the first quarter. Troy Kopp was very efficient that last possession. We saw him 2 weeks ago throw 4 interceptions. Last week comes back, no interceptions in their 2nd straight win.
That's what you look for. You look for a guy who can have a bad play and recover. And that's the key to playing quarterback. You're going to have some bad plays, but can you recover and not lose your poise and show far? This young man has shown that. Aaron Garcia has shown the same, although he hasn't had the misfortune. 13 touchdowns to just 1 interception.
So Brian Lee kicks off to Hunky Cooper. And Cooper will have a shot at an excellent return. Brings it back to the 5, and boy, he had a hole that closed up so quickly.
Robert
right
Lyle.
at the 5-yard line.
Robert Lyles again. This guy loves football. You know, he's played in the NFL. He's done things. He's got things going for his, you know, in his life. He's teaching PE, you know what I mean? He's helping young people, but he covers kicks like a madman.
Yeah, I can see Robert Lyles becoming a coach after he calls a career playing on the field.
You know, one thing about it, all you got to do is bring out some old films and show your kids that you cover kicks like that. I don't think you have problems with them showing up for class.
So Hunky will go wide to the right side, and joining him, Henry Milton. Hunky will actually be in that long slot, so they'll yo-yo him towards the line of scrimmage. And Garcia looking for Cooper, who was knocked down a good 15 yards past the line of scrimmage by Darius Hadley. And I believe this will be the 4th penalty against Memphis in this game.
And Hadley, that was the only thing he could do. Cooper shot out of a cannon. And one thing about it, if you give him that running start, and as a defensive back, you don't start backpedaling, you're done. He could sense that, so he did the thing you got to do. You watch it. Cooper's running full speed ahead, and he comes out of the break. Well, at that point, you got to stop him. You got to tackle him. I thought he did a good job at that.
Yeah, nice bump and run.
Yes, bump and
Legal
clunk.
contact, number 25, Memphis. Automatic first down.
So it will be an automatic first down out near the 9-yard line. 4 penalties. And Arizona, we told you, they only have 11 in their first 3 games. They
and it's
are
7-7.
errorless.
It's 7-7.
But this is the Rattlers, just their 2nd possession.
Well, that's true.
Garcia in trouble. Flag goes down, and down goes Garcia at the 5-yard line.
There they go. This bank hit. And they had some holding on that. We'll see if it gets to call. Well, boy, Steve Houghton had a great move coming up from the nose guard position. That's the thing about this Memphis group. You have some penalties, but they are relentless up front.
But the 5th penalty now against Memphis. And Don Freese has to be frustrated. He was saying, I don't mind smart penalties. And I said, is there a smart penalty? He said, yeah. When a guy's going to break free for a long play, you've got to do something that might be against the game's rules.
Yeah.
But silly, simple penalties like this.
Yeah, but they still hit Garcia.
You can call him silly if you want, but the quarterback still feels it. His helmet, his head is ringing a little bit. And I like it from a defensive standpoint, as long as you remain aggressive and you hit people. So he's trying to get his strap together on his shoulder pads. That's contact. He needs an equipment man. He needs some help.
Well, apparently Aaron Garcia having some equipment problem, and I believe it was our equipment. We mic every single quarterback.
Right.
And maybe he thought it was too uncomfortable, so took it off.
Hey, man, that's Bankhead and Company. You can say what you want, but if I'm coaching and you hit that quarterback, I'll put up with anything else as long as you make a flush contact.
Maybe he gave him a little shock.
Yeah.
Milton goes wide to the right side. Schexnayder and Cooper come left. It is first down and 10 yards to go for Arizona in a 7-7 tie. Garcia pumps, goes deep. He's got Milton, touchdown, but a flag is down. They had illegal motion. That play is coming back, the first penalty against Arizona. Now we can say, sure, Memphis has 5 penalties, but there's one against Arizona, and it is the most costly.
Cost them 6 points. I mean, you know sooner or later that this Rattler group can score points. Garcia again with the pump. The pump gets them. They're so aggressive. Henry Milton works himself up. Now watch this. Right down the old chimney.
Danny White's system will move that ball around to all the receivers. Here's Schexnayder with the catch, breaks free, but stepped on the sideline and is out of bounds. This guy was a wide receiver at Washington State, where his quarterback, when the quarterback was a freshman, was Aaron Garcia. They played together with the Washington State Cougars, and they've hooked up 10 times this year, 5 of them 4 touchdowns. Tonight it's 7-7, Arizona and Memphis.
Popping with flavor, more flavor than ever, and less fat too. It's the right thing to do. Popping with flavor. Bring those right crisp flavors, they're new. And the taste indulging right thing to do. Tangy, sour cream and onion, now more flavor on the chips. Less fat and less grease across your lips. Popping with flavor. Bring those right crisp flavor. Once you pop, you can't stop.
As anyone who has ever owned one of our pickups can tell you, Nissan builds one very tough truck. Now, J.D. Power & Associates has ranked Nissan as the best overall truck line and vehicle dependability at 5 years of ownership in a tie with Toyota. Fortunately, at Nissan, we've developed a tiebreaker.
Dear car owners, a local mechanic could take days to get the muffler that's made for your car or truck. But Midas has mufflers that fit thousands of foreign and domestic cars and trucks. And we can usually do the job in less than an hour. That's the Midas way. And it's more. It's giving you a thorough inspection, explaining your repair options, replacing only what needs replacing, and giving you a nationwide guarantee that's good for as long as you own your car. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
No matter what time of day you need cash, you need a Discover card. Get cash with your card 24 hours a day at thousands of ATM locations. Because when you need cash, timing is everything. It pays to Discover.
In taste tests, the Whopper beat the Big Mac. Then the Whopper beat Wendy's Single. So come in and get the Whopper with fries and a drink for $2.99 for a value you might call unbeatable. Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Arizona 7, Memphis 7. Here we begin the second quarter of play with the Arena Football League champion Arizona Rattlers. And there's Don Freeze. He was part of that run and shoot offense as the coordinator for Vanderbilt last year, so he knows his style of football, run and gun. And that ball is knocked down, but a flag will come flying as well, as knocked down in the play was Herb Duncan.
Boy, that's tough.
That is really tough because it looked like Jerry Pitts got in right about when the ball was in the air. Bottom line to it again, this is the 5th time that Garcia has been hit.
Memphis, 8 yards, first down.
Hey, watch this again. 15 quarterback Garcia, not a real clean snap. And he gets beat up front. Kevin Thomas gets beat. His quarterback gets hit. I don't know, close. Awful close. But once again, 5 times now, and I will keep a little hit stat for you folks. They have been on that quarterback. They put that Rydell helmet right under his chin.
And Jerry Pitts was the man guilty of the infraction. Pass interference puts it out at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Arizona. And timeout is called by Aaron Garcia. That's the 2nd timeout he has already used in this game. And this is a football team that set an Arena Football League record last week. Total combined points scored 141 in a 72-69 win over Las Vegas. They need to get things going.
All right, show me what you got. Keep that left up. Keep it up, Artie. Come on, is that all you got? To the body. Dig that left. Dig that left, Artie. 1, 2, 1, 2. Come on, 1, 2. That's it. Pick it up. Pick it up. Keep that left up, Artie. That's it. That's it, Artie.
With 33% more carbos than Gatorade, it's Powerade.
Come on. Show me what you got.
Firehawk, born at Indy, driven everywhere.
We continue 2nd quarter play. Arizona getting all they want from a very, very tough Memphis defense. A defense that has allowed fewer points than any in the league this year at 30 points per game. And anytime in an offensive-minded game like this league, you can hold a team under 45, you're looking pretty healthy. Hunky Cooper with the catch and gets it to the 15-yard line for a first down. That is his 27th catch already this year in this his 4th game.
Well, good read by Garcia. Again, he shows some real toughness because he gets hit once again on the deck. Watch Cooper. And again, little delay, crossing route, and now the acceleration. Boy, this guy has good wheels. Makes the catch. You know you're going to get hit when you play Memphis on defense.
Remember the season Hunky had 2 years ago when he was the Arena Football League Most Valuable Player in '93. 91 catches that year, 19 touchdowns. And a fumble, and Memphis has the football. The only time Arizona did not score last week was when they turned it over. They have just turned it over for their first time.
The predator, John Bankhead, with the recovery. You know, they may not look pretty. It may be a little sloppy, may be some penalties in it, but man, they get the collisions and force the turnovers.
Remember, John Bankhead was the left defensive end and offensive tackle for Arizona last year.
And you watch them. See, they want to run the football. The play is strung out.
Well, the Pharaohs defense continues to excel, and they are tied at 7 now with a chance to take the lead.
When it's time to choose a lawyer, you can trust your luck or you can trust experience. If you or a loved one are badly hurt in an accident, choose a lawyer certified as a civil trial specialist by the National Board of Trial Advocacy. No other Wisconsin law firm has more board-certified trial specialists than Habish, Davis & Rotier.
Known and respected throughout southeastern Wisconsin.
I'm Roy Nelson. In 1967, I started Nelson Automotive. I know fast, reliable repairs keep bringing customers back. We use reliable parts like Autolite spark plug wires with a lifetime warranty. They have extra thick insulation and oversized spark plug boots. We buy our Autolite wires from Gordon Auto Parts because they always have the set we need in stock. Let Nelson Automotive do your next tune-up with Autolite spark plug wires from Gordon Auto Parts.
Arizona, Memphis tied at 7. This is a passing league, but both these teams have had success in the past running the football, and this was simple, a poor exchange by center to quarterback.
It was the third time that they've had a problem. They didn't lose. It's the first time they've lost it, but there's not been a real smooth operation up front with Thomas and Garcia.
Look what John Bankhead did last year. He was their top defensive lineman, 3 sacks, and he already has a sack this season. Robert Lyles off the right side gains a good 7-8 yards up near midfield.
Well, you pick up 6 yards with 5-6 yards on first down in this league on the ground, and you really put yourself in a pretty good position.
Because now you can run play action. And so many teams don't expect you to run the football. Now play action will really freeze those DBs.
Look for a pump. You can get your pump series in.
Cobb coming back in trouble. Loops it into the end zone. Touchdown! What a catch by Darren Hughes. I thought Troy Cobb really took a major chance when he lofted that ball towards the end zone.
He took a major chance, took a major hit, and made a big-time major league throw. You watch this, folks. See, it's a breakdown. The Rattlers, great. I think it's Ash there with the pressure. There's the collision, the loft, and there's a receiver that just goes up and claims the football. I better believe you know that Bruce Hart and Gene Nudo. Now they're upset. They had 2 people there. You got to go up and jump ball. Whoever wants it gets it.
13-7, now 14-7. You remember the play last year. The Arizona Rattlers knocked it down. Final play of the game to beat Orlando in the Arena Football League Championship.
The all-new Miller Genuine Draft Bobby Ray Hall IndyCar. Awesome. When opened up.
There was no mistake about it. I was definitely in cruiser heaven. Even my wife looked somehow different. And there I was, prowling the streets on the new Kawasaki Vulcan 800. V-twin rumbling, chrome gleaming in the sun. Is this for real? Or am I just dreaming?
The Vulcan 800 from Kawasaki. It's as real as it gets.
Before they made it to the show, they played here. The College World Series from Omaha, Nebraska comes to you live on ESPN and ESPN2. College baseball's Elite 8 vie for the national championship. Action starts tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN2. History in the making.
Steve Fiziak, Rick Walker back in Memphis, Tennessee, home to Graceland, Elvis Presley, rock and roll music, and now rock and roll football. And Darren Hughes with a spectacular catch to give his football team a 14-7 lead. Now we'll go back to return the kickoffs. They do everything in this game. Just a minute 15, and it came because of an Arizona mistake, a fumble.
Well, you capitalize on the Bankhead recovery off the fumble. You come right back and get a score. You're smoking.
Into the nets. Cooper taken down in the end zone. Arizona will have it at the 5-yard line.
Boy, Jeff Russell, great special teams play.
You know, I'm amazed at what first-year coaches have done this year, like John Gregory at Iowa and Don Freese, the success he's had with this Memphis program. And he's taken a guy like Jeff Russell, who has very little experience in the Arena Football League, and he's a real player.
Football players, guys who want to play, who are enthusiastic about the game. You know, you can just tell. Got a lot of good football players on this field.
So the Rattlers have it, but they've got 45 yards to go for the touchdown. Garcia comes right back to the left and gets a first down, and blasting upfield is Brad Clark, and he was just hugging that ball, making sure it wouldn't go down. This is a guy, Gene Nudo, who is their director of player personnel and assistant head coach, really loved. He saw Brad Clark on film out of BYU and said, this guy is an arena player.
Well, that's the key to it. Again, you have to go out and find your kind of guys. You mentioned arena football player. There are a lot of guys in the CFL and NFL that don't translate well to this game and vice versa. So that's really heads-up maneuver by Nudo.
So Clark stays in the game. He'll be a wide receiver left, and Garcia comes back left and throws it off the wall incomplete. There's Gina Nudo.
Gina, yeah.
Assistant general manager. Great guy. You know what he hates most about the Arizona situation?
Wearing those jeans.
Wearing the jeans.
And cowboy boots, yeah.
And I've never seen him look better.
You look at Bruce Hart. That's Bruce in the back, birthday boy. Bruce just celebrated his 39th birthday. Former Miami Dolphin All-Star. And look at that look on his face. And that's what happens. See, as a player, you always keep a smile. Now, as a coach, you got to growl. Two big guys. You don't want to take them to an all-you-can-eat buffet either.
Garcia to Cooper, and Cooper had his man beat, but Aaron's pass just a little bit too long.
You know, it's a pressure when you are the defending world champions. And Danny White, I asked Danny, you see on your screen, Danny, where's your ring? He says, you know, I don't wear it a lot, especially on the road, because I want our guys focusing on this year, that we got to go out and do it again.
So it's now 3rd down, 10 yards to go. Garcia, who set a Rattler record last week with 389 yards, barely has 100 in this game's first half, and comes back left and finds his man Milton Vaughn for a first down near the 20-yard line in Pharaoh territory. And we asked Danny White earlier this week what he thought of his new quarterback Aaron Garcia from Washington State.
Aaron Garcia is a great street quarterback. He knows how to get things done on the field. He's got a great presence in the huddle, and I think everybody has a lot of confidence in him, and that's real important. He's developed a great rapport with our receivers, and he's a guy that I think is going to just get better.
Well, he will send Aaron Garcia back to work, and this is a guy who was the very best quarterback in the state of California at Grant High School in Sacramento. He broke all of John Elway's records, throwing for 3,519 yards and 39 touchdowns his senior year. He's got quick feet, comes back left, throws it incomplete. It will be 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
Boy, Thomas McLeish once again. These guys up front for the Pharaohs, Matt Pearson on one end. Boy, Dale White. These guys, they've just got it going. It really does. His unit has got it going. Coach McQuarrie, along with McSwain, coaching Rod McSwain with the defensive backs, they have come together, and they're great teachers. The one thing John Bankhead made mention of, he said, I've learned more about playing the game from a technique standpoint than I've ever learned in my entire career playing football. That says a lot about the staff.
Well, they've got an assistant general manager by Pete Catella, who came from Arizona and is highly respected in this league.
Oh, Pete's a stud.
Garcia, he was being rushed again, and Garcia's picked off. There is a flag down, but what a beautiful interception by Darius Hadley. Only the 2nd time this year that Aaron Garcia has been picked off.
I think that's going to hold true. Holding on Arizona, that'll be Memphis football. Let's see how close I am. Well, I'm not close at all. I'm off. Oh my goodness.
You're doing the Shirley MacLaine out on a limb thing.
Yeah, I was trying.
Offside on the nose guard, Memphis, 3 yards, replay, 2nd down.
Boy, how does a nose guard offsides? Watch Calvin on this. That's got to be their at least 6th or 7th penalty. Here he goes on the loop. Shanks Nader, now watch the move coming up. He just acceleration. He comes out, great break on the ball. But then again, what you don't see is a quarterback who is down on the ground. Hadley with the great break on the ball.
Oh, look at that defense again. Despite 7 penalties to Arizona's 1, the Pharaohs have a 7-point lead, and their defense just will not let out. Fraley, Bankhead, Ross, Pearson have just been excellent.
Swarm.
I mean, they're swarming. Those black shirts, man, kind of remind you of the Steel City. I mean, they're coming after you right now with a vengeance. Yes, indeed. When you look at those jerseys, and, you know, they come out and make a statement. And in arena football, you don't get a lot of defensive clubs that get recognition. This Memphis team is one that's leading on defense.
Third down. 11 yards to go. Garcia, end zone, incomplete. He was looking at Hunky Cooper, but Garcia again flat on his back, banged up, slow in getting up. Will he last?
That is the 8th time Garcia has gone down courtesy of a Rydell helmet under his chin. And this has got to wear on you. This has got to wear on you.
He was just getting punished time after time. He started at Washington State as a freshman. As a sophomore, he did not, because they had another quarterback who came on as a freshman by the name of Drew Bledsoe.
I've heard of him. Didn't he do? No, he's an actor, right?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't he in?
Actor.
I think he's in Top Quarterback 2. They will fake it, run the football, and they will get the first down. And picking it up is Milton Vaughn on the fumble.
Speaking of acting, that's a great call. That is a big-time call on the part of the Rattlers staff. Hey, we can't run on them offensively. Let's try a gadget. That Danny White, riverboat gambler. It's ironic he's here in Memphis. See, you watch that. That's good scouting. Watch Milton with the nice block, gets him kind of down. Now the collision and the recovery and heads up football. Boy, Milton Vaughn, that saved him. Suppose they don't get that. Oh my goodness, tough move.
Well, they get the first down. They get the first and goal. And you're right. Here's a guy with a personality that is so conservative. And yet, on the field when he's coaching.
Reckless.
I mean, he's rolling dice every single time. Yeah. You got to take chances in this game. And here's a guy who had so much success at Arizona State. Took the Dallas Cowboys twice to Super Bowls. Was part of a Super Bowl championship team. But he said there was nothing like the experience he had last year winning an Arena Football League championship as a coach.
And I believe him. I really do. But you could look at his face last year. They were underdogs. They went into Big Bad Orlando, you know, against the odds and made it happen.
Well, they're down by 7 with 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. There looks to be a substitution problem because there are rules on when you can substitute. One of the keys to this game is it's Iron Man football, which means guys will be a wide receiver and a defensive back. Guys will play linebacker and running back, offensive line and the defensive line. And there are only certain times in a game where you can substitute
8 minutes at a time, only 2 people, the quarterback and the offensive specialist, who go one way. Defensively, you can have 2 defensive specialists. Everybody else is toting the mail for at least minimum of full 8 minutes. And when you compare this to hockey, where guys are on the ice for a limited amount of time and changing lines, it really shows you how demanding it is to play arena football and why this game is not designed for everybody.
And this game just improves every single year since it began in 1987, where the expansion teams are so strong this year, including the St. Louis Stampede, who are 3-0 to start 1995. And they'll take on the Milwaukee Mustangs, who are still looking for their first win in their franchise history. They opened the year 0-12 last year, have not won in 1995. That will be next Friday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 West Coast, right here on the Deuce.
And Milwaukee has good personnel. They are well coached. You just think it's a matter of time of getting it going, but the pressure's got to be, the walls are closing in.
And Chris Velazzi will not be guaranteeing too many victories in the near future.
I don't think so. No.
Guaranteed #1 against expansion Iowa, and in one of the most beautifully played games we've seen in our 2 years working together, Iowa upsets them 69-61.
Awesome game, and I'm sure the fans in Milwaukee didn't mind because the ticket holders got to get it at half price the following game.
Here's a guy, Aaron Garcia, who's completed nearly 70% of his passes on the year, and he's under 50% against Memphis.
That's just staggering numbers when you look at that. You know, Babe Pirelli with Las Vegas has just got to be looking at this. 141 points, 711 total yards, and Garcia close to 400 yards.
Yeah, the Arena Football League record is 399, set in their initial season 1987 by Denver's Whit Taylor. And not until Garcia went crazy last week was even approached. Play action left, and Garcia now rolling. He's got McMillan. McMillan gets a couple, but that's it. And then fumbles the football. And look who's got it. Garcia to the 1-yard line.
Man, give the Rattlers some credit for just having some guts. But it's almost out of desperation because things aren't working for them. But this is the true mark of a champion. There are 11 new guys on this ball club, but you can tell that spirit has carried over. Now watch this at the end. This is rock and roll football here. Sometimes, you know, you don't try to make, did he try to make that, or was it just knocked out of his hands?
No, he was juggling it. He was trying to find the handle on it, but he's glad he lost it now. They will mark Garcia down at the 2-yard line, making it 2nd down and goal. McMillan will be the fullback. 3 wide receivers right. They give it to Bob McMillan, and he will just smash in at, yes, he's in. Bob McMillan scores his 2nd touchdown of the night, and Arizona is within 1 of tying this game.
Let's just say that was a real ugly but productive and courageous drive on the part of the Arizona Rattlers.
They had an interception that was negated because of a Memphis penalty, their 7th of the game. They made a couple of penalties and mistakes themselves on snaps, but they were able to bull it in by way of Big Bob McMillan.
Yeah, 2 mark, though, of competitors, champions. They just never die. You keep hustling and good things happen. We got a good football game.
14-14 it could be if Zendejas makes it. He does. A flag comes flying, but the game is tied at 14 with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to play here in the first half. We'll check Buddy Ward's call. It is against Memphis. It will be declined, so they will apply the penalty after the kickoff. And when we come back, 4:04 remains in the first half.
Hey, want to try new Pert Plus?
Pert Plus? No way. I tried it years ago. My hair needs a separate conditioner.
It's changed. This new stuff cleans and conditions better than back then.
But it's still a shampoo and conditioner in one, and I don't like it.
Wrong. It's a shampoo and precise blend of conditioners, individually balanced for every kind of hair.
Conditioners?
Yes, they condition exactly where you need them most.
A 2-in-1 does that? We'll see. Well, it is actually better. I can feel it.
New Pert Plus in 5 precise new formulas. One's right for your hair.
It's a lot better. Really.
In taste tests, the Whopper beat the Big Mac. Then the Whopper beat Wendy's single. So come in and get the Whopper with fries and a drink for $2.99 for a value you might call unbeatable. Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Bob McMillan scoring his 2nd touchdown. He's wearing his snakeskin cap as he's tied this game at 14. And hey, we've got the NHL coming your way Saturday, June 3rd. Eastern Conference Game 1. New Jersey and Philadelphia. The Devils, the Flyers. That is Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, right here or on ESPN.
Big number 88 for those Flyers, Lindros.
This is one of the rare times you will watch a football game and see a player during the game being interviewed.
Well, that's what's neat about arena football. Taking the cameras in at halftime. I mean, really getting a chance for the fans to see what goes on inside the locker room.
It is a made-for-TV sport, and that football is kicked under the crossbar, so it will be the Pharaohs football at the 5-yard line, and let's see where they will mark it after that penalty that came on the extra point.
But an illegal defense on the previous
last week,
point.
Memphis jumped out to a 29-7 lead.
First down.
Well, they'll mark it at the 2.5-yard line. But Memphis had a brilliant first half last week, jumping out to a 29-7 lead on 3 Troy Kopp touchdown passes. And then San Jose came back, closed it to 27-24, and then Kopp hit Darren Hughes, and Memphis never looked back, winning their 2nd game this year against the 1 defeat. And their only loss came against another expansion club, St. Louis. Catch made near the 7-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down and about 5-6 yards to go.
They appear to be a little bit more aggressive offensively than the last time we watched them play. You just see that, you know, Davis is a go-to guy, but Hughes and Cooper and then Burgess, they're starting to really emerge and make names for themselves. And you need 3 receivers in this game. You know, you can't hide people in this. I mean, you got to be players.
Well, Kopp has only thrown 6 passes. And that's in the first 27 minutes of the game, and that is really unusual for us. But we've had 2 long drives by Arizona that have taken 14 minutes off the clock. Kopp trying to go to Davis. It is incomplete, but flags all over the place. And it may go against Memphis, and they're nearing double figures in penalties again. And I even told Coach Don Freeze, if you guys can be under double figures in penalties, you got a chance to win. But they're nearing double figures, and we still have 3 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, what's the score?
It is 14-14.
Thank you very much.
Shut my mouth. They won when they had 16 penalties.
Hey, if you play defense the way they play defense, you can overcome some things. Now, will it hurt you in the long run? You better believe it will.
Well, the penalty is declined, so it'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Hughes and Davis are to the left. Jeff Russell in the slot. Kopp going downfield. He made a mistake, and it's intercepted by Vaughn. Kopp throwing completely across the field. And that may have been one of those times where you have to just throw the ball away.
In the stands.
We've got a timeout on the field with 2 minutes and 33 seconds left. Troy Kopp has made his first mistake of the night. An interception by Arizona's Henry Milton. One of the officials hurt his left leg on that last interception by Arizona, and for the officials, they're in getting pinned against the walls as well with nowhere to go. Let's take a look at that last pick.
Well, it's so tough. He's got one, and the second foot goes out against the orange stripe. We're trying to see if we can pick up the official, which we'll see. Let's see, does he have possession? Goes up, and you like to have it, you catch it the highest point and try to bring it down. Yeah, it looks like he does.
Well, Milton Vaughn with the interception. He is a great two-way player for this team. And the official now on his feet, but I do not believe he will be continuing.
Well, this has to rank right up there with hockey in terms of toughest sports to officiate.
Oh, man.
Because, you know, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. I mean, you're up against those dasher boards, and you've got 16 maniacs running around on this small field, man. It's tough. Well, let's throw the quarterbacks out of that. Let's make it 14.
But the Pharaohs have played a marvelous game, particularly on the defensive side, and they are tied at 14 with the Arena Football League champion, Arizona Rattlers. 2:22 remaining, and here we got another Memphis penalty. Nine penalties against the Pharaohs.
See, I always credit that. You mentioned John Elway, and I think John does a great job on the outside game about being able to use that voice, man, to get those free, 5 yards outside, 3-yard penalties inside, and it just takes the defensive lineman out of what they want to do, and that is tee off the ball.
What is it, a hut,
You know, just that voice inflection, little head movement, man. You know, the good ones have it, and you notice everybody doesn't do it well. Some guys don't even attempt it.
9 penalties to just 1 for Arizona, but we're still tied at 14. Garcia's back to the air. He slings it to the right, and Schexnayder with the catch. They say no catch. He was out of bounds.
It's your job as a receiver to know where you're at and to make sure that you're live, that you make that reception and you're able to try to move those chains. You know, I don't care what you say. It does look, you see these guys, Rattlers in the jeans, the whole bit. It still throws me for a loop. I'd like to see Danny White with a cap on, like his old coach one day. You know what I mean? Ward Hill cap like Landry.
He's got too much hair to do something like that. Here's Garcia downfield. He threw behind Vaughn, and it's incomplete. It will be 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
And Jerry Pitts, I mean, he's a good football player. I mean, he makes plays. But if he picks up this flag on this, I mean, that is really going to be unfortunate. Playing good defense, you don't need a knucklehead move.
Foul. Number 7. Personal foul. Number 4. Offset. 3rd down.
They will simply have offsetting penalties.
Yeah, I've never understood that call. Make a decision as to whoever, you know, creates a penalty and penalize them. What's offsetting do? Guys don't need warnings, you know what I mean? Not in this.
It's either that or tell them to go to the room and have a 10-minute timeout.
Take a timeout, yeah.
Take a timeout.
Make them take a timeout.
We're at the 1-minute mark, and now they will go back to the traditional rules where any incompletion, they will stop the clock. From the first 29 minutes of each half, you run that clock, whether it's an incompletion, a running play, any play that goes out of bounds, the clock will continue to move. But now back to the traditional rules. Milton Vaughn goes left. Hunky Cooper in the slot. Hunky only has 2 catches in the first half. This might be time for number 14 to spring open. And Garcia's looking his way, going to Hunky. He makes the catch, and what a beautiful catch it was near the 1st down marker. He needed to get to the 21 for a 1st down. This might be 4th down.
This is a great operation. He runs the curl coming off of that yo-yo motion. And, you know, you can look at this and give Hadley some credit. Great break on the ball. I like this kid. He's a good DB. He really is. But that was just good pitch and catch. You always think, Steve, it's got to be tough sometimes for Danny. Just feels like he might want to just go out and just sling one himself. For those old quarterbacks, Babe Pirelli, same thing with Las Vegas Club. It's got to be tough, man, to stay on the sidelines and watch this game because there's so much passing.
Cooper to the line. Garcia has time. He had Cooper, but Hunky couldn't hold on. And Jeff Russell was just getting ready to lower the boom when he realized it was incomplete. And Russell could have just nailed Cooper to the turf.
Yeah, Hunkster tried to make a big play. You know, when you're going down the final minute, you just want the possession. There he stops. The catch is there, but he's trying to make a play. Sometimes the great ones try to do too much. That was a pretty good example of it.
So it will be Memphis football with a 1st and 10 after the 4th and 1. Runs incomplete, and with 7 seconds left, maybe a chance for 2 plays. If they go deep, a chance for just 1. And Troy Kopp calls timeout as that clock was winding down to 3 seconds remaining on the 25-second clock.
Yeah, boy, that gets you, though. You got to be prepared. You like to have your offensive unit on 4th down situations be huddled up. You know, in this case, you only got 2 players that are coming that haven't been on the field so that you don't blow a play like this.
There's Don Freese and rallying his troops, Bruce Hardy, who's one of the defensive coaches for the Rattlers. We've got NASCAR coming your way tomorrow. Louisville Motor Speedway in Louisville, Kentucky. The season is comprised of 20 events at 18 different tracks in 14 states. The race is 200 laps at 87.5 miles. A Super Truck Ford Dealers 200, 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN.
I wonder, do they have any barbecue left around here from that big barbecue deal?
Yeah, last time we were here at the
Pyramid. Get any barbecue. I'm still mad about that.
They had 150,000 people here in town for a barbecue fest. Troy Kopp, he's right near the 50% mark. He's made the 1 interception. That did not come back to haunt him, and his team is tied at 14. He's got a chance to take in the locker room with the lead if he can score on this last 7 seconds. Kopp in trouble. Throws it off to Russell. Russell has a lot of room, but this will be the final play. Russell's to the 15. Russell's to the 10. He is down, and the half is over.
Well, it's been good. This has been good football. This is a good game.
That's his college teammate at the University of Pacific, Jeff Russell, who was a top defensive back there. He comes up with a fine offensive play getting open, and I thought he might have been able to break free when he cleared the middle.
He needed a lateral. Boy, give the Rattlers defensive line. They did a great job. They flushed him out of the pocket. Now, this is helter-skelter football. Now you're trying to pick up blocks from your friends, but the Rattlers would have nothing to do with it.
We're heading to the break with the Pharaohs tied with the Rattlers at 14.
Thomas Mullen? Yes. I just want to be sure that you understand your Dutch tulips are right on the street luge course. Luge course? Yeah. People are racing downhill. Aluminum boards, little wheels. Getting up to 70 miles an hour, pulling upwards of 6 Gs. Is that a lot? Oh, yeah. That ought to hold her.
Extreme Games, sponsored in part by Taco Bell.
This summer at Congo the Movie, you'll join an expedition that will test the height of technology and the depths of human courage. What you find will amaze you. You'll discover the legendary taste of Taco Bell. And while you're there, get 3 exciting Congo the Movie collector's watches. Just $149 each with any food purchase. But hurry, they're an endangered species.
Unlock your body's potential, we proudly offer Soloflex. 32 old-fashioned iron-pumping exercises, each correct in form and balance, all on a simple machine that fits in the corner of your home. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Rock and roll football on the Deuce Arena Football League with the defending Arena Football League champion Arizona Rattlers tie with the expansion Memphis Pharaohs at 14. And Steve Physiak along with Rick Walker here at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. And it has been an odd game in the first half. And I say that because Memphis has 10 penalties to Arizona's 1 or 2. They have been, they turned the ball over one time, and yet they're tied at 14. And you say that's strange because of all the mistakes that Memphis seemingly has made, but they've got to find defense.
Steve, they play great defense. And in this league, you know, it's a little odd to have a team that is dominant on the defensive side. A week ago, you look at Arizona, they set a record in terms of scoring points and, you know, having movement on the offensive side. Today, Garcia's under a lot of pressure. 8 times, make it 9 times, I've charted, that he has been hit. A Rydell helmet right under the chin, and that disturbs even the toughest of quarterbacks.
And even though he's only been sacked 1 time, you start thinking about it. You're feeling the pain. Yeah, and he's in the locker room right now probably talking to his offensive lineman. Well,
we saw him, you know, the offensive line's done a pretty decent job. It's just the design of the Memphis defense. And then on offense, you know, you give the cop man some credit as well, because he hasn't had a lot of attempts throwing passes, but he's been pretty good on it and did hit Arizona with the big play. Arizona shows some real courage, though. This is the defending world champions, and they showed it on that one drive. They had a fake on special teams. Danny White, the Riverboat Gambler, went for it on a 4th down, and they made it, got the points.
One of those defending champions is a guy by the name of John Bankhead, and he has played a marvelous first half, and he said, "We will win."
Go, go, go!
Hidden within the unexplored regions of the African jungle.
What do they say? We are watching you.
Lies the key to the world's technological future.
You got a visual?
What was that? They're smart. They're too smart.
From the author of Jurassic Park, Congo, where you are the endangered species. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 9th everywhere.
As anyone who has ever owned one of our pickups can tell you, Nissan builds one very tough truck. Now, J.D. Power and Associates has ranked Nissan as the best overall truck line and vehicle dependability at 5 years of ownership in a tie with Toyota. Fortunately at Nissan, we've developed a tiebreaker.
I'd like to tell you about my friend Jake. Jake is music. If he's not playing, he's listening to music. He has a legendary music collection. He's got stuff from last century. 8 tracks. The best times we have are just when we sit down and pick up the guitars and play what comes to our heads. Jake's just a great friend.
Got his backstage passes?
Yes. Everybody loves him. Not too sure the neighbors do, though.
When you're with a friend as good as Jake, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
A surprising score with Arizona a heavy favorite to win this ball game. The defending Arena Football League champion Rattlers tied at 14 with the expansion Memphis Pharaohs, who have surprised a lot of people already this year, moving the record out to 2-1 on the season. But they played so tough. Arizona did have 2 impressive drives, but they both took combined 14 minutes off the clock. They only had the ball like 4 times in that first half.
When you throw the penalties into it, a couple of miscues, and it's not traditional Rattler football. But going into the half, you got to ask your question. Who's excited at halftime? I think Memphis is. I really do.
Oh, no question about that. But Arizona comes up with the football. First possession, goes for it on a 4th down and about 3 yards, makes it, then goes in to score the touchdown. And I think Danny White, the football team, had confidence at that time. But Memphis comes right back, and they move down the field, and Joey Burgess gave them a great boost with that touchdown.
It was a super individual effort. Here you watch Burgess on the out, a little wide route. He catches this ball. Now watch the effort. See, there's that goal line, and he has a great feel for it. He's not going to be denied.
And Aaron Garcia, who threw 13 touchdowns in his first 3 games, hasn't thrown one. They've gone to the ground every time in the red zone. Bob McMillan's given him 2 touchdowns.
Well, he's shown again the great tradition of fullback play with the Arizona Rattlers. Danny White believes in it. They're accustomed to getting great production at that position, and it looks like there's no drop-off.
There's your first half stats. Again, the penalties, 9 for Memphis, only 1 for Arizona, and Memphis is still tied at 14. Think of what they might be doing if you take half those penalties away. But it's like their coach, Don Freese, said, I'll take the smart penalty rather than a big play by the other team.
Yeah, well, the one on the Rattlers, though, was the fumble. They come right back and score on the next play. So they took advantage of it. They went right for the juggler. But John Bankhead is really the heart and soul of this club, and one of the reasons why the Memphis defense is playing so well.
So you think it's the Rattlers offensive line that has to suck it up and say, we have to keep the guys off Garcia.
Well, look at what on Troy, on Cobb's situation, his offensive line, I mean, they're not brilliant numbers, but they've hung in there. And he's got 2 TDs and 1 interception, 1 bad throw. He threw across his body, and but they didn't get hurt by it.
I think he got greedy. You remember that pass into the end zone where Darren Hughes made a marvelous catch?
He got greedy.
He went back to it a couple of plays later, and that time it was picked off. We are tied at 14 at the half with Arizona and Memphis, and it was a football game that really concerned head coach Danny White coming into it, simply because Memphis defense was so good. We've seen that in the first.
There are over 10,000 practicing lawyers in Wisconsin. Many claim to be personal injury experts, but many fall short. If you're badly hurt in an accident, remember this. Only a small percentage are certified by the National Board of Trial Advocacy as civil trial specialists, and the greatest number of them are at Habish, Davis, and Rotier.
Known and respected throughout southeastern Wisconsin.
When I grew up, I want to sell new cars at Bell Dodge, just like my Uncle Tim. He says that owning a new Dodge makes people happy. I want to make people happy too. How about a job now, Uncle Tim?
95 Intrepid, dual airbags, V6, air, stereo, $15,990. Stratus, new for $95. Cruise, tilt, air, $13,550.
You're just minutes from a better deal.
Bell Dodge Saab, 4 miles east of I-94, Highway 20, Racine.
Football is a game of style. It's a game of form and finesse. But believe me, when I'm in your face, it's not pretty.
The Arizona Rattlers with a 14-14 tie with the Memphis Pharaohs here at the Pyramid in Memphis, Tennessee. Let's check out the rest of the Arena Football League standings, starting with the National Conference, where there's a real surprise going on over in the Eastern Division, where Albany, who finished 10-2 last year, starts the season 0-2. One of those losses was to the Arizona Rattlers, and they've lost 2 games by very close margins this year. Charlotte's 2-1. They're the team that beat Orlando, who is the favorite to win it all in the Arena Football League this year.
Good football.
Tampa Bay at 2-0. A lot of people like Jake Gruden's chances with the football team this year, getting back old Arena Football League coach Tim Markham, and Orlando at 2-1. And in the American Conference, in the Central Division, look who's on top. 2 expansion teams.
I tell you what, that is exciting. It's great for the league, and I'm sure that everybody, in charge has got to be tickled a little bit. But still, you need the Milwaukee's to jump up. Memphis has played well, and I think next week's game with St. Louis and Memphis is going to be a good one.
In the West, Arizona has won all 3 of their meetings. San Jose lost to them in overtime to open the season, and Danny White even admitted that was a game that the Rattlers deserved to lose, and San Jose and their head coach Todd Shell deserved to win.
You didn't want to be around Todd after that game.
I
just love his demeanor. He's a typical, he's a perfect defensive player. He really is, man. And Don Freese, he's not showing it, but I think he's looking back and talking to Coach White, saying, hey, man, not bad. We can just make a play on defense and not hurt ourselves offensively. We can win this football game.
Well, it's 14-14 at the half. And we saw a first half that was marvelous last week with Orlando and Miami, and then Orlando pulled away last minute of the first half and blew them out in the second half. Hunky Cooper this year, 11 kickoff returns, 1 for a touchdown. He is one of the most dangerous return artists in this game.
We didn't get a chance to go inside the locker room, but you better believe that Danny White was blowing his stack. You look at this talent, Shake Snader, Vaughn, and Cooper, but they got to make plays. And I'm sure he was in there telling, hey, guys, potential's great on paper. If you got talent, come out and show it in the second half and turn up the heat.
Yeah, there was a football team who last week completed an unbelievable 21 passes in the game. But this week they only have 5 completions in the first half because of the Pharaoh defense. Lee kicking off. And it is out of bounds, so a penalty flag will be thrown, and Arizona will have the football in great field position at the 20-yard line. So that's 10 penalties now against the Pharaohs.
Don't forget, Cooper dropped that 4th down pass, so he'll come back and make up for that in a big way. That's the one thing you don't want to do, is get him riled up. And you can look at his face right now, man. He's a true champion and wants to lead this Rattlers club back, and they want to host the Arena Bowl.
He was a quarterback and a punt returner in college at UNLV. Ran the option. Those are the last 4 possessions for Arizona. Schexnader's wide open. Calvin with the catch and the touchdown. Well, that didn't take long.
No, it didn't. And they are so fortunate. Boy, Houghton was there. He was a great move at the nose tackle position. I thought he was close to a sack. You see, not a lot of emotion, not a lot of celebration, because, see, they realize they're not playing up to their potential.
You know, they'll play half zone, half man. This was a zone that hurt them.
But watch this, though. Right off the center. See, Houghton gets free. Boy, seconds away. And you can't gamble like that on defense going up against Schexnader. We talked about those 3 talented guys, Cooper, Schexnader, Milton Vaughn. They'd have to come through and make big plays. Well, that's what it's all about.
And Aaron Garcia has thrown his first touchdown pass of the night, his 14th this year, against 2 interceptions. But one of those interceptions came in this football game. We've got 13 minutes and 51 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter, and it's the Rattlers back in front by 7.
You never really know when you'll need cash. That's why you need a Discover card. Use your card to get cash during business hours from financial institutions and select merchant locations, or 24 hours a day from thousands of ATMs. The Discover card. Because when you need cash, timing is everything. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back, except where you see the Novus sign.
Come on, turn around. Twisted. Now meet the Carmel king of the castle, keeping his tight, CL smooth, sipping on Spritite. It's the Mechadon, never swerving untitled. Knowing commercial rap needs to be recycled. Collecting cans for Nick's picks, my latest LP. Now obey my thirst, I'm precisely.
Got the knack to rock, I'm steady heating up the spot. Chocolate boy wonder making heads bop. Plus I...
You're looking at a very productive player, Calvin Schexnayder. 12 catches this year. 6 of them have gone for scores. Let's hear his head coach, Danny White, talking about Calvin.
Calvin Schexnayder can be as good as Calvin wants to be. I think he's got talent that even he doesn't know he has. So we're trying to continue to develop him as a total football player. But he's one of those guys that no one can cover man-to-man, and teams pretty much have to play zones to stop him. If they don't, you know, we're going to just continue to isolate him on defensive backs. And when you got Hunky Cooper and Milton Vaughn alongside of him, it makes him that much more effective.
It is 21-14, Arizona over Memphis with 13:51 to play here in the third quarter. And there's a flag on the play on the kickoff. It was covered by Jeff Russell, but you have to advance it out of the end zone.
You're going to go.
Is that number 12?
You know, there comes a time where the silly penalties, like the one on the kickoff where you kick it out of bounds, those come back to haunt you. They gave that quick touchdown to Arizona on the 30-yard pass from Aaron Garcia to Calvin Schexnayder. And well, now a football team that I'm sure was so pumped up in the locker room now is to come back.
Well, the only remedy for mistakes is points.
Troy Kopp going deep for the home run. Jeff Russell, he makes a great catch at the 2-yard line.
Well, let's see if Memphis doesn't shoot themselves in the foot.
They are calling that against the Pharaohs.
It doesn't surprise you, does it?
That is 13 penalties, and the last 2 have killed them.
Pass interference, number 6, Memphis, half the distance.
Well, here's a guy who was a defensive back in college, so you're making the transition. He was their most valuable player on the defensive end. So let's see if we can see that separation. If he
well, you look
get a
for it up
off.
front. Boy, Lyles picks up the blitz. There you have the pump. Now, this ball's in flight. They're going for the football. Watch his inside arm. He's maybe there on the push-off. Very delicate call.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Very delicate.
11 penalties against Memphis. Arizona with 1. But Arizona only leads by 7. And Kopp almost tied it up with that long bomb to Russell. So Troy comes right back, dumps it over the middle to his fullback, who makes a nice catch and lunges forward to the 10-yard line. Robert Lyles, a 34-year-old veteran from Sugar Land, Texas.
Why is it third?
Well, Lyles is pumped up today, man. You just think he wants that Iron Man award. Let's take a look at the pressure up front. That's relentless. You watch those pads are lower. Give Kevin Thomas all the credit in the world for keeping his pads down and moving forward. Nice bull rush.
So this makes it a 3rd down and 4 situation for Troy Kopp, who is 6 for 10 in the game, 2 touchdowns, did have that 1 pick on a pass he'd love to have back. They'll run Lyles, and Lyles can't find an opening, and down he goes. It'll be 4th down for Memphis.
It's a great defensive series for the Rattlers. And you see Bruce Hardy on the sidelines, man. He's almost on the field, patting it on for his troops. That Coach Don Freese doesn't kind of like this.
A 55-yard field goal attempt by Brian Lee out of Mississippi. Well, it is well short, and it will bounce and go out of bounds near the 10-yard line. So he shanked that football off to the left side, and we have a timeout on the field with 11 minutes and 42 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Rattlers by 7.
So you want HBO and Cinemax?
Sure.
And you want to see all your favorite stars?
Yeah.
Well, how about an encore too?
Huh?
Well, let me explain. TCI Everseen has added 2 great premium channels to the lineup. Stars has the latest movies with today's hottest stars, while Encore gives you hit movies of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Now you can have HBO, Cinemax, Stars, Encore, and the Cable Guide for only $24.95 a month.
I get 4 great premium channels and the Cable Guide for only $24.95 a month?
That's right, so call 637-9637 to take advantage of this incredible offer.
June 2nd on pay-per-view, the Conquistadors arrive. Miguel Angel Gonzalez defends his title for the 8th time. 21-year-old champion Alejandro Gonzalez makes his East Coast debut. Undefeated Marco Antonio Barrera makes his first title defense. Hector Osorio Sanchez faces #1 contender, former 3-time world champion Daniel Zaragoza, plus Bronco McCart in a 5th championship bout.
Danny White led his football team to the Arena Football League championship game last year and won it. They peaked at the right time, beating Albany and then shocking heavily favored Orlando in the championship game when the Predators were picked to win by 13. And Arizona got them and won by 5. 36-31 at the Jungle. Here tonight it is 21-14, Rattlers with the lead, and Garcia's got the ball back and going to his split end. Herb Duncan, who has brilliant speed, and Duncan is past the 20-yard line.
I'm starting to sense a little lax on the side of Memphis. Poor tackling. I mean, that's an indication of people not really being focused. They gave up a touchdown, then they come out and have a penalty. It hurts them offensively. So this is a point right now where Arizona, if they can kind of seize a moment, can really separate themselves in this football game.
And put a little doubt in the Pharaohs' minds. Garcia has now completed 50%, but that's not good because he's a guy who through the first 3 games has completed nearly 70%. And Garcia, scrambling away from trouble, gets hit by his own man and is knocked down at the 15-yard line, and down comes a flag.
Yeah, bank hit. That's a late hit. That's the late hit. Unnecessary. I hate to see good football players come in and do things to hurt the team.
Your club has made 11 penalties though already. Yeah. And here comes number 12.
Yep, this is it. Good rush by Bankhead. He missed a sack. You get a little frustrated. But there's a great hustle move. Vincent Farley. And see, that's the late hit. You got to protect quarterbacks in this league. That's a good call.
Yeah, he's just got to get out of the scene.
That's a good call.
You know, instead of having it be 2nd down and long, needing 16, 17 yards to go, it is a 1st and 10 now inside the 21-yard line. 1 penalty to 12. And coming into the game, the whole season was like that. Arizona had just 11 penalties in the first 3 games, while Memphis had 36.
Yeah, the only way Bankhead makes this up now is to get in, get a sack, and strip, force a fumble.
Garcia, man open. Cooper, does he have it? Yes, touchdown. What a catch.
Told you he was coming back after that drop on 4th down. Garcia takes another Rydell helmet under the chin and is down.
Garcia got
yeah, he took another hit. That is his 11th hit by the Memphis defense. Again, helmet to helmet on this, but he makes a great throw. Cooper with the nice one-hand grab, but you hate to see a quarterback down. Although Brian Fox is in the wings and Danny White has a lot of confidence in this young man out of Florida.
Well, we may have a chance to see him because Aaron Garcia, who has been flat brilliant in the first 3 games this year, and now coming out and punishing the Pharaohs here in the 3rd quarter with 2 quick touchdowns.
Well, I like Memphis defensively. See, they just continue to pursue you. They are relentless up front. That ball is perfect right over the outside shoulder. Great catch by Cooper. Watch again. Houghton, 55. Farley, Bankhead. There is the hit. Robert Lyle, right on. Oh, man. Rydell to chest protector. Great catch. Good footwork. That's nice. That'll make the highlights.
So Hunky with a spectacular catch. He has scored a touchdown in this game. Calvin Schexnayder has scored a touchdown in this game, and Hunky Cooper now has, let's see, 1 on a kickoff return, 1 on a run, and now 5 receiving, so 7 touchdowns on the year. And Arizona has jumped in front. They have their biggest lead of the game with 9 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Everybody thinks bigger is better, even at Burger King. They just did this taste test where the Whopper beat the Big Mac and Wendy's single. So why didn't they test the Whopper Jr.? It's that bigger thing again. Come on, appetites come in all sizes. The Whopper Jr. tastes the same as the Whopper. It's just as flame-broiled. It's just as juicy. It's just Junior. One size fits all may work for tube socks, but not for burgers.
The Whopper Jr. Value Meal for $1.99 at Burger King.
Filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one. You know the beer, you know the taste. With Miller Genuine Draft, the world's a very cool place.
Arizona's Aaron Garcia has come out of the locker room to throw 2 quick touchdowns to give the Rattlers a 14-point lead, and the College World Series continues on ESPN at Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska. It is college baseball and really the sports world's most action-packed 9 days. What a great game today with Florida State and Oklahoma. 3:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 on the West Coast. Jonathan Johnson, who was the #1 pick of the Texas Rangers, went all the way, got the win, and his team won it in the 9th inning on a 2-run home run. I love the College World Series.
It is. It's exciting. Have you worked that?
I've never worked it, but I've been there. I love to work it.
An event you've never done, Steve? I'm surprised. Uh-oh.
Darren Hughes, and he was taking a chance. Darren Hughes took it off the iron right at the 4-yard line and almost got cranked.
Is scary. Last 4 possessions by Memphis. And so that missed field goal hurt him. That pass interference killed him on the last drive. Other than that, they've been pretty good. This is the biggest drive of their football career right now coming up because the blood is on the shoulder. And if they don't score now, the Rattlers may walk the dog on this one.
I'm Steve Physiak along with Rick Walker, the former tight end of the Washington Redskins, who helped lead the Skins to 2 world championships. We're in Memphis, Tennessee at the Pyramid, where it's 28-14 Rattlers after this game was tied going at halftime at 14. And Troy Kopp comes right back, throws a completion to Frizzell Davis, who gets knocked down after a short gain.
The difference between this year's version of the Rattlers and a year ago is that now defensively, last year's club would start to hurt you. They had that fierce pass rush because, of course, Bankhead was on their side and great experience in the secondary. That's what they're trying to close the cushion on. If they can do that, boy, they're going to be tough to beat this year.
Troy Kopp's efficiency has been high. He has the 2 touchdowns, but that 1 interception hurt him in the first half. He needs his team to score on this possession. And he's got all kinds of time. Now it's wandering away, and he dumps it off to that right sideline, so it'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
That was an indication of the pressure we were talking about a year ago. Don't forget Doc Wise was on this team. They had Bankhead
and Carlos Brooks,
Carlos Brooks, Richard Holt.
Corners.
He had Thor rushing at at the stud linebacker spot. So that's tough to replace those players and still be dominant, and they're building towards that. Take a look at the pressure again. Rattlers there, Scalvin Shakes Nader playing the Geo linebacker. See the crossing, and this is what you need: constant pressure. Lucas up the gut. See, you need guys that don't quit, to keep hustling. A little holding going on there, but offensive lineman, just a little bit.
So now on 3rd down, Kopp looking left, going left, man wide open, Darren Hughes. He's at the 10, at the 5, and down. 1st down, Memphis.
Great recovery by Duncan to save that, or it would have been a score. Boy, Kopp Gun showing us that he can make plays. This is just a runner upfield, and it looked like Duncan was trying to zone it, play it in between, play both receivers. Got caught. Coach Whiteover demonstrating the Bankhead.
So Hughes goes to the sideline. Now it is 1st down and goal to go at the 5-yard line. and they will run left. And then it's Thomas McLeish, and McLeish is down at the 4-yard line. You know, Troy Kopp was a marvelous athlete in college at the University of Pacific, where they called him Cop Gun when the movie Top Gun came out. One of only 6 passers to go over 10,000 yards.
Yeah, 500 yards. That's just awesome. 2
straight games where he threw over 500 yards. They were kind of a run and shoot style. Walt Harris was their head coach, and he said when he came aboard, man, I knew I could run that system well. Verges goes in motion, and Troy Kopp goes to a knee, and Kopp's got to believe that the defensive line was past the neutral zone.
That'd be the case when Martin just tried to catch him off sides, and he did.
Well, Memphis trying to get back in this ball game right now, down 14 with 6:27 to go.
Second penalty. There's a movement. Now watch Martin at center. See, that's smart. He saw he had him in the neutral zone. Scott snapped it to the quarterback, and you take advantage of it. Only their second penalty on the day.
Look at Big Zach Rick saying, no way, man.
Who, me?
2 penalties? I get the second one? Ooh, right through the hands of Joey Verges, and he just threw too much mustard on that baby.
Boy, that was one of those 95-mile-per-hour fastballs.
Yeah, Troy was a pitcher at the University of Pacific, and also in high school in Mission Viejo, where he was drafted twice by the Montreal Expos.
Well, he showed it there. He showed it there.
As a catcher, so he had a gun. Now from the 3-yard line, Verges in motion. It is 3rd down, and they'll give it to McLeish. He is to the goal line. Did he get in? They say he fumbled the football. Now they're running with it, and watch this as Henry Milton is going all the way, but was the man down? Don Free says he has to be down. They're calling it a touchdown.
Backbreaker. Absolute backbreaker. Now let's watch this. They try to go inside on 3rd down. Now you have the loop motion. Kopp to give. Now let's watch. Ball is hidden. Now what I like about it is that from a defensive standpoint, don't be an official. Henry Milton goes, you score, then you look back to find out the call. Too many players trying to be guys in striped shirts. Play the game till you hear the whistle.
The Rattlers have pushed the lead to 20. And Henry Milton, who was in his first year with the Arizona Rattlers, getting his 2nd touchdown, first defensively of the year. We've got a timeout on the field, 4.5 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, and it's the Rattlers running away from the Pharaohs, 35-14.
The evolution of sports news. Something is rotten in the state of Cleveland.
Cruz Angels skipper
Tex Williams.
Again, Cleveland 5, California 0.
Wow, some game that was really special.
Sports Night. What's next in sports news? Live Tuesday through Saturday on ESPN2.
Memphis is just about ready to get back in this ball game. They're at the 1-yard line. Thomas McLeish fumbles, but did he, Rick?
Well, no, if you look at the foot, now watch the knee. There's initial contact. The key is that does he have possession of the football? At that point, the leg is down. Tough to see the football, but it looked like he's on the left hand. He is down. It appears
well, let me ask you this then. Henry Milton was on the ground, and obviously part of the body of the fullback McLeish is touching him. That means Milton is down.
Well, that's an excellent point, Steve, but the bottom line to it is that we're up here, they're down there, and they're kicking off, and nobody seems to care. I'm sure that
I think the Pharaohs and head coach Don Freese cares. I mean, now all of a sudden they're down 21. Well, the Pyramid they're in their first year as well. The fans kind of looking at arena football like, okay, we're excited about having you here, but we're not sure how to act. What they should do is run videotape of Tampa, Orlando, and certainly America West Arena in Phoenix, Arizona, to show you how exciting this game can be and how exciting the fans can make it. Because last week in Orlando was wonderful.
That's what it's all about.
And when you go to America West, it really is unbelievable.
Well, you ought to earn the right to get televised. I mean, let's face it. And there's some clubs here that have done it right, and they should be awarded.
Well, Troy Kopp has a football now from the 5-yard line as it's 1st and 10 for Memphis. Catch made by Brett Cooper, and Cooper is knocked down just past the 12-yard line. Well, the expansion teams this year are doing quite well with a record of 9-6 overall, but there are 2 teams that are unbeaten in St. Louis at 3-0 and Iowa at 3-0. And we'll have a chance to take a look at that St. Louis ball club next week, go against Milwaukee at the Gill Center.
The thing about arena football is that despite the score, they're not out of it. You know what I mean? These fans will have to learn that there's no score really out of reach in arena football.
Cooper looping around. Kopp going his way, and Brett makes an excellent catch at the 20-yard line for the 1st down. And Henry Milton bumps him, and the officials have to separate Brett Cooper and Henry Milton.
That was close. That was close to being called. Now you start talking about knucklehead penalties. You cannot get back in the game going backwards. So this is the point where they're really going to have to play smart. Want to see a good pair of hands? Watch Kopp gun throwing out. Now watch the carpet and the hands. Those are gloves there. Those are gloves.
Kopp stepping up in the pocket. Flag goes down. Kopp will run. He gets another 1st down, but let's see what the call is here.
Can I take another guess at it?
Take another guess.
Okay.
Go out on a limb.
Holding against Memphis.
Well, it was the back judge making the call.
Holding, number 74, Memphis.
Back.
1 for 2.
1 for 2. 1 for 2.
Well, after predicting at an 88% ratio last year, you are not yet in midseason.
No, you know, that's not. Yeah, I'm stumbling.
Look at that, though. Memphis has 14 penalties to Arizona's 2. Like you said, you can't win going backwards.
Start watching it again. That is because of great effort by the Rattlers. I mean, let's give them some credit defensively. Tom Gibson and company, they're starting to pick it up. Zach Ricks, Kevin Thomas.
Kopp going right side. Darren Hughes, another flag down. Man, how many times are you going to hurt yourself? This appears to go against the offense. Holding, offense, bring it back.
Yeah. Well, Don Freeze is playing this pretty cool right now. I mean, he doesn't want to show panic, and that I can appreciate. But somebody, one of his other coaches, somebody needs to come screaming over those dasher boards and threaten to strangle one of these guys, because you got to get their attention.
Well, Don Freeze, the head coach of Memphis, said the key to winning this game was that they could not allow the big play receivers for Arizona to just run through our defense. And through the first 30 minutes, that didn't happen.
He did a great job.
And then Schexnayder and Cooper came alive. But he also felt that they've got to limit their mistakes. But the penalties have been killers too many times.
Well, we pointed it out early on. Missed tackle. Missed tackling is a good indication of a defense where just mentally you're not in sync. And sometimes you do need, you need a foot in your butt. You need somebody to get your attention.
Distance to the goal, replay, 1st down.
So they'll try it again. 1st down now from the 5-yard line. They must get out to the 18 for a 1st and 10. And the clock is beginning to be a factor. 2:03 and counting remaining 3rd quarter, and the Rattlers up by 21. Hughes gets it out past the 15. He'll still need another 1.5 yards for a 1st down. Darren Hughes is a young man that Coach Freeze really is high on. A speedster out of Carson Newman. He was a track star. Runs a 4.37 in the 40. He won the California State track title. And in his offseason, he works out with the Santa Monica Track Club, a highly respected track program in Southern California.
He went back, finished up his degree, and but you can run with those guys over at Santa Monica CC, you're jamming. I mean, that means you're special.
Through the hands of Frizzell Davis, that would have been a first down. Well, yesterday when we got together with the coach of Memphis, we asked him about mistakes, the penalties, turnovers that might cost his football team. And here's what Don Freeze had to say.
I haven't put an exact number on that because there's a certain number of penalties that I think are good penalties in this league. And sometimes as you commit penalties, the dumb things, the offsides, the bad mental mistakes where a guy hits someone in the back. There's obviously areas where you can improve in the penalty area, but I don't think there's any magic number. 0 would be ideal, but unrealistic.
Well, they have suffered some mental mistakes in this football game, and the penalties have hurt them, but they've also come up with some big plays like you just saw on the throw from Kopp to Jeff Russell.
Yeah, and again, if they can just score and then get back that edge, that enthusiasm defensively and create some turnovers, they can get back in this football game. But don't look for the Rattlers to give away much.
We are through 3 quarters of play here in Memphis, Tennessee, and there's an old country expression that says you can't keep trouble from coming, but you don't have to offer it a chair. And 15 penalties is a big old love seat. I like that.
My summer vacation. It started out pretty lame. Then my dad got a new jet ski STS watercraft. That changed everything. It's got a Radical 750 with twin carbs and curved gauges. It really shreds. We met some friends who had a 900 ZXi. It was awesome. This thing really kicks chalk. I mean, it really goes fast.
Okay, Billy, you're next. Billy.
As anyone who has ever owned one of our pickups can tell you, Nissan builds one very tough truck. Now J.D. Power and Associates has ranked Nissan as the best overall truck line and vehicle dependability at 5 years of ownership in a tie with Toyota. Fortunately at Nissan, we've developed a tiebreaker.
His accomplice in crime, a woman in danger, a partner in training, a hero in black. The adventure begins. Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman, Chris O'Donnell. Batman Forever. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, June 16th at a theater near you.
A little rock and roll football on the deuce. We begin the final 15 minutes of Arena Football League, and 2 guys, little Heisman action. They've got their Pharaoh football. Doesn't look like Desmond Howard at all.
You know, I doubt if either one of those guys even played Pop Warner.
I don't know.
They didn't look like it. That pose did not look like it.
Maybe they played, but just weren't very good. Here's Kopp trying to bring his team back down. 21 is Memphis. Kopp throwing incomplete. And that was a wise throw by Kopp because Arizona's defensive backs had the Memphis wide receivers well covered. Let's just start it over. Second down, 10 yards. Gene Nudo, he was the assistant general manager, head coach at Arizona, and he was with the league office last year, and he did such a great job. We used to call him the commissioner.
Oh yeah,
he
Gina
practically ran the league anyway.
Oh, Gina, you know, he's got his game face on now. Here's a guy probably on the phone talking to his wife, trying to get information as to how to run the defense and then what to do when they get back. I mean, let's face it, his wife Mary really runs it.
There's no question she has a great deal of football knowledge, and she's helped out Nudo in his career as the football is knocked out of bounds. But it is an excellent staff that Danny White has, and Gene Nudo and Bruce Hardy and Chad White.
I think you look at what Brian Coangelo has done
And really, the management side of the Rattlers is really impressive. Bruce Hardy, again, birthday boy, turned 39. And doesn't look a day over, what, 42? No, really, heck of a tight end, good man. And, you know, and there's Danny and Gina Nudo. Last year, Shell was out there barking, now Hardy, and two guys you don't want to talk back to.
It is now 2nd down and 13 yards to go. Cobb to the end zone. Hughes is open. Touchdown.
What, no flags? You got to be kidding me. Second time these two have hooked up. Should probably give them 8 points just for no penalties. Say what you want, but that offensive line has really been fighting it off well. He just comes out of his acceleration really neat. I mean, Larry Jones doesn't have a chance to cover him on that play.
Well, Don Free said, watch for Hughes, watch for Cooper. They are game breakers, as Brian Lee has missed the extra point. So it can only close the lead to 15. It's still Rattlers 35, Pharaohs 20, but they made a comeback with 13:06 to play.
Firehawk, born at Indy, driven everywhere.
The Mummy bringing home the Camels after the Pharaohs have just scored a touchdown to crawl within 15 points of the Arizona Rattlers. And Brian Lee missing the extra point. He'll be kicking off now to Hunky Cooper, who is back deep in his own end zone. But they took nearly 6 minutes off the clock, and they cannot afford to have long drives with just 13 minutes remaining. And down 15 here to the Arena Football League champions. Cooper taking it off the nets. Hunky trying the middle, and he's down at the 6-yard line. Well, 2 weeks from tonight, we will be in Iowa. The Barnstormers in Des Moines. They call the place the Barn, and it is a great sight to see. We really welcome you into the Barn at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Friday the 16th, as the Memphis Pharaohs will head north to take on the Barnstormers. A great opening. They've had a lot of support. They've had sellout crowds, and they're 3-0 going into this weekend's play.
Well, I like that. Give me those sellout crowds. Shake Snader, Vaughn, Cooper. Talk about a triple threat. This is why the Rattlers is so potent.
Cooper has a touchdown. Shake Snader has a touchdown. They go to Hunky, and Hunky with the catch, and Hunky up near a first down. He needed to get past the 15-yard line for a 1st and 10. Well, 3 Pharaohs received their Arena Football League rings, championship rings. Pete Cutella, who's the assistant general manager, John Bankhead, the defensive end, and Ross Setters, who is an offensive lineman who played or coached for the Rattlers last year. And John Bankhead, he was really excited about getting that Arena Football League championship ring. Delightful guy who has really made a great turnaround in his life.
No, he took it. He took action. He needed to make changes, and he's made them.
Oh, they've got Hunky wide open, and I think Aaron Garcia was so excited when he broke open from his defensive back that he threw the pass a little too quickly and a little too high.
He also had the Diesel coming after him, 55, Steve Houghton, and that'll get you excited. You know, one thing about it also on the offensive side, Chad White, Danny's brother, you know, also works with these quarterbacks, has really been instrumental in the development. We wondered last year, we saw a lot of development, you know, in their whole season, especially at the quarterback spot. And now guys like Trey Sullivan, Brian Fox, and Aaron Garcia, they got a nice little pool of quarterbacks.
Now it's 3rd down and 2 for Garcia and the Rattlers. Important stop for the Pharaohs, and Garcia going deep. Man is open. Duncan has it. Duncan is gone.
Well, that's enough to make Speedy proud. What do you think? No, you still have a grudge against him because, again, you're an old Kansas City Chiefs fan.
But I have a grudge against anybody whose son is a first-degree black belt.
I was just about to say
Duncan is just that.
No, he is, man. And he uses all that quickness there to come back and snap. Now, watch the pull away. Watch the acceleration. Hard to coach that boy. That's just raw speed.
It's interesting when Danny calls plays like these, and it's usually in 3rd and short because the DBs are playing a little tighter to the wide receivers and allows a speedster like Duncan to hip hop and get open. And a yellow football is thrown on the field. Anything yellow and Memphis is walking backwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please for the protection of the players and future fans and the spirit of good sportsmanship.
Look at Luis Zendejas. Does he look like an athlete? I'm sorry. I love the family. I know Tony, who is the kicker for the Los Angeles Rams last year. These guys are tremendously accurate. And he's got another one.
Here's a guy who's had ankle injuries, but just put him on a soccer field. I mean, an all-star.
Kicking Zendejas family, and Luis has given Arizona back a 22-point lead.
I used to worry about car repairs, but since Professional Detail and Auto Center was recommended to me, I trust them to take care of everything. Not only do they pick up my car and service it during the day so I save time, they also call and keep me informed on any unexpected charges or repairs. They'll even take my car through emission testing. Thanks, Jim. Take it from me, at Professional Detail and Auto Center, you get quality professional service that saves you time and money.
Once upon a time, there was TV Guide. Then came the HBO Cinemax Guide,
the Disney Guide, the Showtime Guide, the Pay-Per-View Guide, the Video Package.
But now, there's the Cable Guide.
One guide that brings together cable and network listings, premium channel listings, pay-per-view listings, and even a special cable for kids section. Over 50 channels in all, and all in one guide.
The Cable Guide.
Call 637-9637 to order now.
Remember that play in the first half when the game was tied at 14 and Aaron Garcia was drilled and knocked down when he threw that touchdown pass to Hunky Cooper? Oh, that was the first play of the second half. I wasn't sure if he'd come back, but he has come back even better, almost like it woke him up.
Well, that made the score 28-14, and what has happened is that the offensive line has blocked a little bit better. Memphis has gotten a little tired. You know, and that's the thing about this game. Fatigue will ultimately become a factor, and especially if you're behind on the scoreboard.
Well, here's Zendejas' kickoff. Off the iron. This is a tough play. Recovered by Arizona. And the Rattlers will have the football. When that ball comes off the nets or the iron, you cannot come within the 5-yard line until it hits the turf or another player. And in this case, it hit both.
Well, the thing about arena football, this is where inexperience starts to hurt you. When you've been in this league, you understand how that board, how the iron can hurt you. Then you got to get in a almost like a loop position so that you can get that off the carom. They were not in good position. You got to hit people coming down so that you stop them. See, you got to go and make contact. And they just did not feel that well. Brett Cooper's in there. He didn't want to hit anybody. You got to hit people in this so that you give your team a chance to receive the ball.
Well, there's no question that Memphis came into this game thinking they had to play their biggest games of their young career. And they really felt it would be their biggest game of the season until the playoff time. And they fought mightily through the first 30 minutes, but Arizona really running away with this football game in the second half. And now they'll run to the left, and McMillan will dive for the end zone, but there is a flag down, so let's wait and see for the call before we give Bob McMillan his 3rd touchdown of the night.
Illegal formation, no tight end reporting, 3 yards, replay first down.
Boy, you have to do that every play. That tight end has to come out, raise his hand, and establish that he is the tight end.
Look what Aaron Garcia did in the first half. No touchdown passes, 8 of 18. Second half, 5 of his completions. 3 have gone for scores.
Shanks, Nader, Cooper, Vaughn. Need I say anymore? I mean, and Duncan, you throw Duncan in there, they have explosive potential.
They'll run Hunky Cooper. Cooper dives to the 7-yard line, but barely gets back to the line of scrimmage where he is punished to the turf by big number 94.
Well, Matt Pearson comes in on that one. He played that block real well. Now, here's a guy that would not give up that outside shoulder, kept it strong, and made the play. Gadget time. Notice how he's whispering, didn't want us to pick it up. I doubt if this is a conventional play.
We'll have McMillan in the backfield. Hunky Cooper will be the slot on the left side. And they'll throw it, and Garcia scrambling, looking, now throwing it away, and flags down. All over the place, and Garcia hit again. You had him at 11 hits.
Well, that now makes it 12.
Well,
there's a little hit
right
chart.
on.
There's a little hit chart.
Here's a guy who played tight end in the NFL, and he loves defensive hits.
Oh, I do.
You're unbelievable.
Well, what happens is that you really start to, as an offensive player.
You must have played special teams also.
Yeah, I did. But as an offensive player, and I played defense in high school, but in this game,
illegal defense. Number 33, the Jills out of the box too early. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
You start to figure out that in order to win championships, you have to win it with defense. And even though I don't like to give them credit for it, they are really the reason you win. You look at all the great teams, indoor, outdoor, their defense is a reason. Gives the offense the ball more, and if you're an offensive player, you want the ball more.
And the Rattlers, who had an excellent defense last year, played the best game they could have played defensively last year against Orlando and won the game, holding Orlando, a powerful football team, to just 31 points, which is remarkable. Here's Garcia going end zone, touchdown, Calvin Schexnayder, his second score of the night. He was thinking about throwing it into the stands and then said, I don't know about that.
You know what I like about them is that they expect to be good. They don't get too excited. They score. Hey, they expect to score. They expect to come back and defend this crown. And there's some folks down in Orlando and Tampa and Albany that would disagree. And there you watch it. Just a little misdirection. And I think really right now Memphis has got to grow up. They got to grow up and realize that this game is 7:31 in the game, and you got to keep playing hard. You got all week to mend your wounds.
Well, the Rattlers pulling away as Zendejas does something he rarely does, miss an extra point. But this one pulled to the left, and the Rattlers have a big lead on the Memphis Pharaohs. It is now 28 points with just 7:16 to go.
Dear Midas, we were on our way to see our new granddaughter. When my mother-in-law's muffler started roaring, she said,
"Let's go to a discount store."
I said, "Let's go to Midas." Well, she didn't even know she had a Midas muffler until Ray said,
"This is a Midas muffler. Do you have the guarantee?"
She checked her glove compartment, and sure enough,
oh, I found it.
Then the muffler was replaced free. Thanks for the honest service. Jan Parkinson.
They say man cannot live on bread alone. Fortunately, at Discover Card, we couldn't agree more. That's why we offer the Cashback Bonus Award. Each year, you'll receive real money back based on your annual purchases. So the more you use your card, the more you'll get back. And with over $500 million given out already, you're sure to get your fill. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Accept it where you see the Novus sign.
Some Pharaoh fans here at the Pyramid, 48-20. Some NBA fans as well.
Those Rockets, man, those world champions who, let's look at the way the Dream is playing. It's going to be tough to beat.
You can have your Shaquille O'Neal the way Akeem Olajuwon is playing,
yeah.
because this guy is amazing. Here is Calvin Schexnayder after scoring his second touchdown of the night. He has 2. Hunky Cooper has 1. Herb Duncan has 1. So they have really passed it around. But that was the system last year. Remember our Arena Football League game when the Rattlers were playing, and we had a graphic of all the receivers who had like 30 catches or more, and I think they had 5 wide receivers who had at least 30 catches.
Right, Tillman was in that group last year. You start to look at it, and they spray the ball around. That's when Danny White talks about the system. They definitely have a system, and now he's showing that the interchangeable parts does not deflate that system.
And those stars like they had last year, and the Cedric Bonners and Richard Holtz and Cedric Tillman. Well, the 2 quarterbacks are warming up, Trey Sullivan and Brian Fox. Brian Fox was the guy number 9 who Sullivan is throwing to, who we will likely see later in this game, because Aaron Garcia has basically put the game away. But they were really excited about Brian Fox. He played a little bit at Purdue, then transferred to Florida, where he was one of the most exciting quarterbacks in the country as a freshman at Purdue, and then elected to transfer, where he did not get as much playing time with Steve Spurrier.
Boy, he can throw it.
Brett Cooper to the line on 1st and 10. Frizzell Davis with the catch, bumped out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Well, Danny White said he wanted to get Fox in the game. I mean, Garcia has been so sensational the first 3 games and 3 quarters. You'd love to have your backup get a chance, because the way Garcia was punished in this game, he may not go the whole year.
He's enamored with his arm. He loves his arm. He says one of the great pure passers. But you got to show that you can translate that ability to this game. Garcia has done that. Let's not forget the fact that Garcia started in camp as the number 2 quarterback.
Yeah, they had first signed Fox thinking he would be the quarterback, but Garcia won the duel and just never let up. And never letting up this time was defensive end George Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Troy Cobb with 3 touchdown passes, just 1 interception. But his football team has only come up with 1 score in the second half, and he's inside 6 minutes to go, down 28. Cobb going underneath, catch made by Cooper, and he dives forward past the 10-yard line. You know, the key play of this game was when it was 28-14. Memphis is on the 1-yard line after the terrific catch by Jeff Russell. Then the fumble. Henry Milton picks it up, races 49 yards for a touchdown, and it took the life out of the Pharaohs, and they have been unable to come back.
Yeah, it was only 28-14 at the time. That made it 35-14.
And that would have been making 28-21 if they score.
Would have been a football game. And you hate to say it still may not be because of arena football and those nets and of course those bars.
Well, they'll run the football. McLeish off that left side, carrying for about a yard, but it'll still be 4th down.
One thing I've noticed about Arizona in this 95 version, they play the run real well. I mean, they don't have the pressure of the quarterback yet that I'm sure that they want to get, but they do play the run very well.
And here's a defense that gave up 69 points last week to Las Vegas. Has straightened up a pretty good quarterback in Troy Kopp, although Kopp has thrown for 3 scores and been picked just once, but they've allowed just 20 points. Vergis was in motion. Kopp plenty of time over the middle. Touchdown, Brett Cooper.
And no flags.
You know, the Pharaohs have really played a pretty good game. The fumble hurt them. The penalties certainly have hurt them.
And they missed the PAT again. Good pressure by Zach Ricks right up the gut. And that's but excellent job of blocking him, though. And you give a quarterback that kind of vision, and it looks like Calvin Schexnayder may have gotten picked off on that play.
And Troy Kopp will stay in the game as they will go for 2 to try and make it a 20-point game with 3 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in this contest. Kopp will send 3 receivers to the right side. and they will not get the 2 points. A sweeping left was Joey Burgess. It comes up unsuccessful, so the lead for the Rattlers still 22 points at 48-26. 3 minutes and 32 seconds left.
Taste test, the Whopper beat the Big Mac. Then the Whopper beat Wendy's single. So come in and get the Whopper with fries and a drink for $2.99 for a value you might call unbeatable. Burger King, get your burger's worth.
If you get these, you need these. Spiraflex Abrasion, Skin Saver, and Blister Kits are now available at a store near you.
A terrible third quarter has cost Memphis. Outscored 21-0 in the third period. If you throw out the third, it's a 1-point ball game, but Arizona came out after the break. Quick touchdown to Calvin Schixnader. Quick touchdown then later to Hunky Cooper, and then that fumble return for a touchdown by Henry Milton. 21 points. Well, the ESPN2 Lightning will be You'll be able to see them at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, noon Pacific on ESPN2. Major Taylor Velodrome bicycle track in Indianapolis, Indiana. Usually attracts drivers from 15 different states. Really an exciting time. You can watch it on the Deuce at 3 o'clock. Milton will make the recovery at the 22-yard line.
At 3:29, the way they play defense. And with these bars, man, sometimes, you know, you can take your chances off getting big plays off a good kick.
Yeah.
I mean, you give Arizona that kind of field position with 3:29 to go. Again, we get to play armchair quarterback and armchair coach on that, but questionable.
Well, here's the new quarterback for Arizona, Brian Fox. He goes 6'4", 220, just 24 years of age, out of Orlando, Florida. Started at Purdue, was the National Freshman Quarterback of the Year, the youngest quarterback to ever play in the NCAA and start a game in Division I college football at the age of 17. He's going downfield, and his first pass is intercepted. Darius Hadley brings it back. Darius Hadley past the 15 and then fumbles, but Schixnader picking it up on the sideline, and it should still belong to Memphis.
Pennsylvania High's ruled out of bounds.
It will belong to Memphis.
About to say that would have been criminal. Here's a young man that they love his arm. He's got the power throw. Here he shows some touch, and maybe just a little bit too much touch. But too much touch. The ball drifts away from him, and then Darius plays it real well.
That's like one of those change-ups you're trying to throw in the outside corner and winds up over the plate.
And Cecil Field was at Cecil's at the plate, right? And it's over. But that hurts you. You come in, you get one shot, and you throw an INT. Well, let's see. Maybe we'll have
wants
a
to get right back
finish
out there. Get right back out there. Kopp going deep. Hughes. No, he can't hold on.
That is exactly what the doctor ordered. They just couldn't deliver. Because, you know, you're battling the clock now. 2:15, making 13 remaining in the game, and you want to score quick and try those nets again, those bars. Kick that ball up and hope.
It was a pretty pass by Troy Kopp that last time. Instead, it'll be second down and 10 yards to go at the 17-yard line.
You note now that at least they are competing again. I sensed that one time in the third quarter, they had kind of like given up. Now they are back. Boy, that's picture perfect. Hard to get better. They like to have a little bit more on the outside shoulder, down the pipe. Good defense, too. Good recovery.
By Nathan Leduc.
Yeah, Nathan recovered well.
Kopp looking back at Hughes, now scrambling, throwing, catch made Frizzell Davis. Does he have time to get to the corner? No, he is cut down at the 8-yard line, and some late flags go, and it may be just what Frizzell is talking about, face mask. Frizzell Davis played for the Milwaukee Mustangs last year in the Arena Football League, caught 12 passes, and then broke an ankle and hurt his Achilles in the process. That ended his season, but he's come back well, and Memphis took a look at him and said, hey, this guy can be a real star as our offensive specialist.
Well, he spent the entire offseason in tremendous rehab. Hurt it, re-injured again slightly a couple of weeks ago, but has never stopped playing. And this kid wants to play football, and he's got a lot of skills.
Well, the clock is stopped with 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining in this game, and they will put the football past the 5-yard line after the penalty on the face mask against Arizona. Frizzell Davis, when he was in college, he played with a defensive back by the name of Larry Jones. And Larry Jones is the defensive specialist for Arizona, and he has had to cover Frizzell. And they were looking forward to meeting up because they said in practice at Maine they had some vicious duels.
Memphis, we had a personal foul, face mask, number 1, Arizona. It's an offset. We'll replay the down.
They can't, they just can't buy a break. And they are their own worst enemy. They have no one to blame.
Now, what was the offensive penalty? The critical one that hurt them was the fumble at the goal line.
Yeah.
Was the man down before he fumbled the football, and then was Milton touched before he picked it up?
He also had a pass interference call on Jeff Russell.
And illegal push in the back.
Yeah. I'm sure there's one that will be reviewed.
I thought that might be from the spot of the foul type of penalty, but apparently because 17 penalties on Memphis, that sets their new record. They broke the record that they had of 16 2 weeks ago against Milwaukee, and they won that game.
50-yard field. Can you imagine that? A 50-yard field, you got 79 yards in penalties.
We've got 1:17 to go. Rattlers running away from the Pharaohs.
Before they made it to the show, they played here. The College World Series from Omaha, Nebraska comes to you live on ESPN and ESPN2. College baseball's Elite 8 vie for the national championship. Action starts tomorrow at 8:30 on ESPN2. History in the making.
Rock and roll football on the deuce with Arizona leading by 22, 48-26. We've got just 1:17 to play. Tomorrow's arena schedule at 8 o'clock. You can head down to watch Charlotte, the Rage take on Milwaukee, Albany, and the most valuable player from a year ago. Go to Knickerbocker Arena and watch Eddie Brown. San Jose will be at Miami at 8 o'clock, and at 8:30 Eastern time, St. Louis is at Iowa. And as Troy Kopp walks to the line, maybe it just looked like he had a penalty on his mind because the yellow flag.
And also don't forget that Tim Markham's club, Tampa Bay, will be out in Las Vegas. Stevie Thomas and company. And you mentioned that Tampa Bay might have the edge this year. And again, look at it last week, what Las Vegas rather went through in that barn burner with the Rattlers.
They scored 69 points and lost the game. Would that been fun to do?
I want to go inside the Thomas and Mack Center, though. I like it. Still think about Jerry T.
No, if Stevie has a big game, he can call it the Stevie Thomas and Mack Center.
And Mack Center.
It is second down and 13 yards needed for a first down. They go underneath to Jeff Russell, and he busts his way past the 20-yard line. He needs to get inside Arizona territory at the 22.5 for a 1st and 10 as the clock winds down to 1 minute to play. Now they'll go back to traditional rules where it stops on any incompletion. 1 minute left in this football game, and it is Arizona by 22 points. Well, coming up next week on the Deuce, of course, we'll be with the Milwaukee Mustangs as they go for their first win perhaps in their franchise history. They're at Charlotte this week against the St. Louis Stampede, one of the real surprises in the Arena Football League. In their first year, St. Louis has opened at 3-0. A marvelous offense that is averaging close to 50 points per game. Cobb being chased by 2 Rattlers. Throwing incomplete, intended for Frizzell Davis.
Well, John Bankhead, you know, he played his guts out, but he'll have to relish on the fact that he gets his Arena Bowl ring today and not a victory, as he so predicted, because the Rattlers really are just a cut above right now. We're talking about one of the elite teams. There's Thor. He used to call himself a number of different names. Number 1 was the Predator. And another Cyborg. That's right, Cyborg.
Well, he said, you know what? The way our football team is playing, I think we'll win this game easily. And then he realized who was playing. He said, no, I take that back. I think we'll just win.
Yeah, right.
Well, they're a long way from winning. This is a very good football team, these Rattlers. And we talked about this last year. You go around the league and you take a look at any sport, whether it's Major League Baseball, the NFL, the Arena Football League, the NBA, and you know why teams win. At Orlando, with the Disney group there.
Oh, yeah. Perry Moss.
Don Disney. And Perry Moss is a great general manager. And at Arizona, the Colangelo family with Jerry Colangelo and Brian Colangelo, and they have just done a remarkable job.
There's a double hit, double catch and throw.
And an interception by...
No, touchdown.
No, it's a touchdown by Darren Hughes.
Another one of those great arena highlights. I think Hughes hurt his shoulder.
But there have been flags all over the place, and Hughes hurt his left hand.
What a killer. What a killer for him. Here's a guy who's really played well for him. You hate to try to play doctor. That could be sprain or dislocation the way he's holding it.
Illegal forward pass. You had 2 forward passes. You can only have 1 forward pass behind the line of scrimmage.
So that
Lost
is
down, second down, previous
18
spot.
penalties against Memphis.
Great for the highlights, but not good in terms of the records. Is that Richard gets those hands up. Richard Ash, 96. You know, Danny talked about that. So did Gene Nudo. They wanted to get their hands up and to be more of a factor on pass rushing. Boy.
19 penalties, excuse me, on Memphis. They've made 53 in the season to just 14 for Arizona.
On a 50-yard field.
That's execution. And that's a completion. And oh, Jeff Russell did not hold on at the 10-yard line. So the clock stops with 20 seconds to play. Jerry Colangelo and Brian Colangelo and Scott Brubaker doing such a marvelous job. The sons of the NBA. You see what goes on there, and it was really the Colangelo family who helped save this league.
Well, they've done a number of different things. They're great owners, and again, not just you made a great point about it. Just look at sports in general, and that's why, you know, this is a hot property. People want franchises in arena football, and as they come in, if they're solid and the background checks are done well, this league is going to flourish.
It is 3rd down. The pass is complete. Lewis for the first down. I believe he will get it. He needed to get just past the 11-yard line, and they will rule him down all the way to the 8. So it is a 1st and 10 for first and goal, excuse me, for Memphis. Greg Lewis on the catch. Played his college football at Texas A&M.
I think a lot of it has to do with summertime. And you figure during the summer and the evening, especially on the areas where it's real hot. I mean, what else are you going to do? This is great entertainment. Bring your family out, come indoors, and watch some rock and roll football.
15 seconds left here with the Rattlers up 22. And that will be incomplete through the end zone. Just 10 seconds to go. Pass intended for Jeff Russell. So the Rattlers will push the record to 4-0 on the year, having beat San Jose, Albany, and Las Vegas. And Memphis will be even at 2-2. They lost to St. Louis in their opener, almost won that game, and they believe they should have. And then they beat Milwaukee and San Jose last week.
San Jose, SaberCats. You know Todd Shell, he'll have a winner. That's another one of those new groups that comes in, well run, you know, great ownership group. And
it's the Fry family in Northern California, and Frizzell Davis will loop in motion. Cobb looking his way, has time, looking, scrambling, now firing, incomplete, and the clock shows 2 seconds left. So we'll see one final play in this game before the Rattlers push the record to 4 wins and no losses. And Don Freese, he wants more improvement, more growth by Troy Kopp. Danny White, remember his 4-year goal? He said his first year he wanted to make the playoffs, missed it by 1 game. The next year he wanted to make it to the Arena Bowl, missed that by 1 game. He said the 3rd year he wanted to go to the Arena Bowl. They did, and they won. And he said this year we want to host the Arena Bowl, and 4-0 will certainly help. Kopp over the middle, touchdown to Frizzell Davis, but it comes too little, too late, as the Rattlers will win this one rather easily, 48-32 so far, as Memphis must go for the point after touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what Davis is celebrating about. I mean, it's a good route. He gets himself open, but the object of this is to win the game. And what they've got to do now is just hope they can build on the positive and get ready for next week, because this is a club, because of their defense, that I believe is going to be a factor in this come playoff time. They just continue to improve. You know, next week we'll be in St. Louis, and some pretty good barbecue ribs on there as well. I know you got some clout, so I'll expect that you give me a few phone numbers.
Brian Lee for the point after touchdown. It is up. It is perfect. And Arizona pushes a record of 4-0 in the season. 48-33, beating the Memphis Pharaohs. But next week, it will be in St. Louis. Friday night at 8:30 Eastern, as the Milwaukee Mustangs travel to St. Louis to meet the Stampede. Our final score tonight, 48-33, Rattlers over the Pharaohs. Tonight's Arena Football League game has been produced by ESPN in association with High Bar Productions. I'm Steve Physiak for Rick Walker saying good night from Memphis. Coming up next, NFL's greatest moments. Have a good evening, everyone.
Hi, I'm Steve Sable. At NFL Films, we're known for praising pro football, but we're also famous for poking fun at it too. It's a great sport, but we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that it's also entertainment. The football field is a stage, and we all know that in the theater, comedy, as well as drama, can thrill an audience. And the same holds true for the NFL. While the game's greatest plays have an everlasting quality, so too to the game's funniest moments. Now, we've selected some of the most hilarious and most imaginative film segments we've ever produced. And during the next hour, you'll see why we've entitled this show, Follies Forever.
Normally, little Tommy Johnson wouldn't stand a chance against NBA star Grant Hill. But today, he's drinking Sprite.
You're in my world now, Hill.
Okay, so maybe Sprite won't make you a better athlete. But just to be sure, now we'll pit Tommy against sumo wrestler Katashi.
Good luck, kid.
As anyone who has ever owned one of our pickups can tell you, Nissan builds one very tough truck. Now J.D. Power and Associates has ranked Nissan as the best overall truck line and vehicle dependability at 5 years of ownership, in a tie with Toyota. Fortunately at Nissan, we've developed a tiebreaker.
Yeah, I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice because I didn't really think it could work better than my old deodorant. But it does. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of yours. Now you got proof. Guaranteed.
In taste tests, the Whopper beat the Big Mac. Then the Whopper beat Wendy's single. So come in and get the Whopper with fries and a drink for $2.99 for a value you might call unbeatable. Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
I'd have to say Larry is my best friend. The guy is a maniac for sports. He loves to play football. That's his sport, and he's the boss.
And he'll never, ever leave a game early.
What is this, the Arctic Bowl?
He's rolling out the tarp with him.
Larry! But all my life, Larry's always done me big favors.
Mike, Diane, Mike.
Hi. Very big favors.
Yes.
Cheers, buddy.
When you're with a friend as good as Larry, shouldn't you have a Heineken?
There's an old saying that begins, "To err is human." And based on what we have in our film library, that certainly applies to the NFL. During the 28 years that we've covered the league, we've captured countless miscues and misfires. Here are some of the classics.
Something evil is lurking out there. Something to make you feel the cold breath of horror on the back of your neck. Something to chill your spine. It is stalking the stadiums, seeking out victims to satisfy its unquenchable thirst for blood. And heaven help those who gaze at the thing that rained hell on opening day. On opening day, you'll experience creeping terror when a depraved, malignant force takes possession of Sunday's heroes and transforms them into predatory fiends. Their prey are the men who wear the black and white stripes. The refs try to fight back. But these beasts crave human flesh. You screamed on Halloween. You shrieked on Friday the 13th. Now prepare to gag on opening day. This motion picture contains scenes that may be too intense for young people. Deep in the valleys of the seething, sultry old Southwest, where danger dwells, an unforgettable Western adventure is born. First, there was the Magnificent Seven. Now, there is the mediocre 11. Here is a sprawling saga of itchy trigger fingers, hot lead, and a cool, silent shootist called Butch. Relive the days when peril loomed over every horizon. See savages and settlers engage in the life and death struggle that helped bring civilization to the wild and woolly frontier. Join the stampede to see the Western epic that leaves the others in the dust. NFL Films challenges you to solve the mystery that baffled Scotland Yard. The stomach-churning suspense begins with a phone call.
Is that our phone? Is that us? Hello, Danny?
Yes, I would like a large pizza with everything on it but anchovies. You got that? Hold the anchovies.
Dial M for Moron puts you on the lookout for the crime wave that blows the lid off the NFL. Hold onto your hats as helmets disappear. Grab onto your socks as cleats vanish. Not even jerseys are safe in this searing drama of a half-naked city paralyzed by fear. And when the pigskin starts popping loose, so will your eyes. Whodunit? You won't know until the final fade-out. And theater owners have been asked not to admit anyone during the last 15 minutes. This is the film that takes you behind today's hottest headlines. See how undercover informants provide police with the tips that lead to the biggest dragnet in FBI history. So when the phone rings, get ready for a heart-pounding motion picture experience. NFL Films proudly presents the picture with happy feet. It's a singing, dancing, musical extravaganza. It's Top Helmet, the tap-filled, tune-filled treat that will have you leaving the theater humming songs like these.
I got a feeling Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl. This is not the last time, but Buffalo is going to the Super Bowl.
The Steelers are so great, and they play the best of all to take our Pittsburgh to the Super Bowl.
At long last, here comes a high-stepping spectacle to bring the sound of music back into your life. Isn't it time you felt good again? Isn't it time for Top Helmet?
Welcome to 30 Seconds. I'm Connie Sawyer. Today, the story of Woody the robot and how he helped the little girl. One day, Molly McGee came into the Bank of Elmwood with a $1 bill. Woody helped Molly deposit her dollar bill, and soon another dollar and another dollar. Thank you. Thank you. And today, Molly has a daughter of her own named Mary. Woody helped Mary deposit her dollar and gave her a free Woody savings kit.
Woody, you're awesome.
The Bank of Elmwood on Lathrop Avenue, where our prime interest is our customers.
General Rental presents Where Did You Get That?
Smith, this year's exhibit was the best yet. You've outdone yourself again. Where did you get all that?
General Reynolds, sir. One of their special event consultants helped me through the planning stages and saved me considerable time by delivering and setting up.
Is that where we got the stage for the fashion show?
Yes, sir. And General Reynolds provided the amplified lectern and the large screen video projector, the one that projected the 14-foot picture.
Sounds like General Rental has just about everything.
General Rental. We rent most everything. Video screen provided by General Rental.
Friends are there to pick you up when you're feeling a little down. Friends are there to rearrange someone's face when they're acting like a clown. Friends are a hamster, a fish, and an owl in Kirby's Dreamland 2. If you ain't fighting on their side, well, man, I'd pity you.
Kirby's back, and the Flappy One brought 3 rowdy friends. It's a pumped-up, powered-up Kirby in Kirby's Dreamland 2. New for Game Boy and Super Game Boy.
Will you be my friend?
In the NFL, victory is usually the result of a solid game plan. But sometimes, it's not the strongest plays that pay off, it's the strangest plays. The fact is that some of the most memorable moments in NFL history, well, they started out in disastrous fashion. William Shakespeare wrote that the play's the thing. And that's also true in pro football, even if the play doesn't always work out as it was diagrammed.
Spotlight on pro football, a sport where mind maneuvers muscle. Throughout NFL history, carefully calculated strategy has resulted in clever, cunning play sessions. Recall the hallowed halls of academia.
I know the answer.
And the head coach is the learned professor.
We'll want a play that will get our Weskowy Wookie wide receiver open for remarkable reception.
The chalkboard chess game remains a challenge for today's glamorous gridiron gladiators.
I say, boy, I've got a great play here. Pay attention, boy. Our quarterback is going to fall in his rump. Then he's going to get up and throw a touchdown.
Stopper stumbles as he goes back to pass, goes down, gets up, and now cranks up, throws a deep ball to Butler. He's got it!
In pro football, imitation is the sincerest form of strategy.
Welcome to an NFL huddle. If a team screws up here, they'll wind up looking like a bunch of dumb bunnies. Great thunder and field goals, man. Let them block that concerned kick. Then run the dang thing into the end zone.
Great call! Just like the coach said it would.
The man's a genius.
Sideline communication is the first link in any offensive chain reaction.
Throw the ball downfield, but let him intercept. This'll lull him to sleep.
Hey, coach, you kill me.
Now here's O'Brien, back to pass, looking long. He heaves it down the middle, and it's going to be intercepted. And then grabbed away by Sony.
Quarterback and coach don't always see eye to eye.
Now, let me get this straight. You want me to fumble the snap, chase the ball around, then pick it up and throw?
Precisely.
Dumb. D-U-M, dumb.
And so, another brilliantly designed deceptive play was born.
Scramble for it, nearly fielded by the Rams. Craig gets it back of the 20, throws one in the end zone, touchdown! I don't believe it!
These